Earlier within the palace, King Charles III took part in the accession ceremony.
I am deeply aware of this great inheritance.
Charles automatically became king when his mother, Queen Elizabeth II, died. Karen Chamas, London.
And now WGN Sports, Northwestern dropping their home opener today to Duke 31-23. Evan Hull with over 200 yards, but his fumble at the goal line in the final seconds was the backbreaker. Ryan Helinski, 435 yards passing and 2 touchdowns in the loss. Head coach Pat Fitzgerald.
This goes in under the category of self-inflicted wounds. You know, we had a lot of things where Northwestern beat Northwestern today, but I don't want to discredit Duke. Thought they ran the ball better on us than we thought they would be able to. We'll learn a lot from this tape. Big game coming up next week to get this win train back going, but team's got to learn from it, and they will, and they'll grow.
Other scores on the gridiron today. Texas losing a heartbreaker to number 1 Alabama on a last-second field goal by the Crimson Tide. 20-19 the final score. Virginia, Illinois about to get underway. Washington State and Wisconsin now underway. That is scoreless in the first quarter. Indiana State and Purdue gets going at 3. So does Iowa State and Iowa. Northern Illinois and Tulsa gets going at 6. Over to the White Sox, Tony La Russa's team of doctors has cleared him to travel to Oakland to participate in Sunday's pregame ceremony, retiring Dave Stewart's uniform number for the Oakland Athletics. He has not been cleared to return to the dugout at this time. Sox and A's about to get underway at the Coliseum. Cubs and Giants at Wrigley today. It is 4-2 in favor of the Giants. Chicago Fire hosting Miami tonight. That one gets going at 7 o'clock. And now the WGN forecast.
Increasing clouds around Chicagoland and warm for today as high temperatures end up in the mid to low end of the 80s, upper 70s if you're by the lake. Expect to see air quality in the moderate category for Chicagoland for today. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies and a chance for some showers and thunderstorms very late, mostly into the overnight hours if we see any at all. Northeasterly winds start to develop. That does create swimming hazards on Lake Michigan through the day and evening hours for us into Sunday. And for Sunday itself, rain at times, breezy and cooler. Chance for some isolated thunderstorms as well and some gusty northeasterly winds. Expect to see temperatures also significantly cooler for Sunday with highs only in the mid-70s. From the WGN Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Tim Joyce.
Right now, barometric pressures reading at 30 at O'Hare and Midway, the normal range. 82 degrees at O'Hare, 84 at Midway, 76 along Chicago's lakefront. Celebrating our 100th year of serving Chicago, I'm Kevin Wells on Chicago's very own 720 WGN.
Thank you, Kevin Wells. Coming up next, Home Sweet Home Chicago with me, David Hochberg, and I just had a 13-year-old voice crack there, prepubescent voice crack. I don't know what's going on with my voice. Stephen A. Leahy, who is 13 years old, or acts like a 13-year-old, attorney Stephen A. Leahy, Frank Wasilewski, Access, and Tom Janke, 5 miles east of the Hochberg Shopping Center. Janke, after these messages, coming back.
No more procrastinating. It's time to check out sodaweightloss.com. Check out the reviews. There's over 6,300, and you'll see a common theme among the reviews. Yes, people are losing weight, but they are also keeping it off. When you reach your ideal weight with soda, you'll receive monthly maintenance weigh-ins for free at no charge for as long as necessary. I'm down 28.8 pounds, and I plan on keeping it off. Soda, S-O-T-A, taught me about healthy, sustainable nutrition. Not counting calories or taking pills, but figuring out what makes my body tick and building a custom plan with my nutritionist. It's easy, man. I have no cravings. I'm shedding fat, not muscle, and it's 100% over the phone. Go to sodaweightloss.com, S-O-T-A weightloss.com. Check out over 6,300 reviews with a 4.8-star rating. Soda is a life changer. You could do it. Soda is, say it with me now, state of the art.
Penny Mustard is home to the industrial-inspired Dane bedroom.
Industrial reminds me of these awful-looking knickers that my mom used to make me wear.
There are good industrial designs, too, and they inspired this newly updated bedroom.
The Dane is made of iron and solid wood with deep, sturdy drawers.
You could fit a lot of knickers in there.
The Dane bedroom, starting at just $158 a month with only 1 penny down and no interest till September of 2026. Through September 11th at Penny Mustard.
6 locations throughout Chicagoland.
PennyMustard.com.
My doctor told me my cholesterol is borderline, so I took control with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. Garlic helps maintain healthy cholesterol safely and naturally. It's odor and taste-free, and Garlic is a world leader in garlic potency. I'm taking charge of my cholesterol with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula, cholesterol's natural enemy.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
This episode of Home Sweet Home Chicago is sponsored by David Hochberg and Builders Supply Outlet, Access, and attorney Stephen A. Leahy from OPEM Tax Resolution. For additional sponsors of the Home Sweet Home program, please visit WGNradio.com/Home Sweet Home Chicago. Now, here's David Hochberg and Home Sweet Home Chicago.
312-981-7200 is the MegaPro's call, text, and photo line. Thank you, Mr. Jennings, for doing a tremendous job introducing us every single week. We appreciate it. 312-981-7200. Sorry for the Northwestern Wildcats. Tough loss today, but there's always next weekend. 312-981-7200. We are here to answer all of your real estate, home improvements, mobility challenging, legal questions. We've got Stephen A. Leahy in here. Everything that you want to know legal when it comes to the IRS, when it comes to your taxes, when it comes to bankruptcy. Stephen's our guy. Frank Wazalewski from Access. We'll talk about all of your mobility challenges and all of your family's mobility challenges. You might not have any mobility challenges, but your family might. Frank could help them. And Tom will tell you about if the supply chain is getting any better or any worse, and if our listeners could get some stuff done before Thanksgiving, which is amazingly right around the corner. Let's go around the horn. Tell you what, before we start every show, we start with Elwood, buddy. How many miles to Chicago?
106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Hello, Chicago!
My name is David Hochberg, host of Home Sweet Home Chicago.
That's the best in the city of Chicago.
Where you from?
Chicago.
It's time for Home Sweet Home Chicago.
We're on a mission from God.
With your host, David Hochberg.
312-981-7200. That's a MegaPro's call, text, and photo line. Let's go around the horn. Stephen A. Leahy, enjoyable ride in for you, not for me so much. Stephen and I.
I'm going to tell you something, David. That opening gets me so excited.
Gets you so excited, yeah. Tom, he kept playing it. I drive for it's just so for full disclosure. Stephen and I live near each other. He hasn't driven down once to do the show unless I'm not here, and he's got a phobia of gas stations, of paying for gas.
Do you know what I saw?
Parking.
I saw you drive up to the parking area.
Yes.
And what I really couldn't imagine was Stephen was sitting in the back seat and
yes.
he gave you his hat.
And I asked him to go in the trunk, but I couldn't fit him in the trunk. Something we're working on. SOTA, say it with me now, state of the art. So he's working on it. Let's not judge. He'll be fine. But Stephen A. Leahy, what's going on with everything in your world with the IRS and
everybody's hearing about it. Everybody knows about the Inflation Reduction Act.
Yeah,
I have to laugh every time I say it. So because I don't think it's going to reduce inflation, but what it's going to do is going to bring a lot of new IRS people. And so we're going to talk a little bit about what you should do to prepare for that. What if you're running your own business? What can you do to prepare for this onslaught?
And we get text. Why is there an IRS guy in there? Well, a lot of our listeners own their own businesses, or their friends, family, and neighbors own their own businesses, and this information is valuable if anybody owns a business to get this information into your hands. Because we had talked about the deposits, how the IRS is going to start eyeballing bank deposits, and I want to talk about that in greater detail as well. Mm-hmm. Did that get slipped into the bill? Is there a threshold? That's called a tease. Let's not go into it too deep. But if our listeners, during your segment coming out of the break, let's talk about it. But if our listeners want to reach out to you, if they are having IRS tax challenges, haven't filed tax returns in years, and they're getting letters from the IRS, they won't call, they won't knock on your door, but they will send you an unbelievable amount of mail.
Unbelievable.
You should contact who?
You call me at 312-664-6649 or go to chicagotaxteam.com. Gave the wrong one away because I also have WGNtaxman.com.
All right. Well, nobody's here.
I know.
So when we go live.
But what I wanted to say is also when you're talking about why
we'll edit that out, Steve.
I'm here, because one of the reasons why people want to fix their tax problems is to buy a home.
Yeah.
Right. So if you haven't filed your tax returns and you think you're going to buy a home, you ain't.
No.
So
no,
that's a big
it becomes
reason.
a lot more challenging.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll tell a story after the break of a listener that we were able to help pay off a tax debt that he owed to the IRS of about $500,000 with a cash out refinance. So very, very unique transaction. We'll get to that later. One more time, your phone number.
312-664-6649.
And the correct website you want.
WGNTaxman.com.
Frank Wazalewski, Access. What's going on, Frank? We have a giveaway coming up, a quote-unquote contest, as we like to call it here. WGN classifies it as a contest where our listeners could go for free. There's no fee. There's no entry-level investment to get in. You're giving away, and your team is giving away, Access, the company you work with, is giving away a complimentary chairlift from the company. I always mess up the name. Severia. And where do our listeners go to sign up for that unbelievable opportunity?
Okay, so this is for veterans. So we're doing this for Veterans Day. We're trying to get the promotion out early. If you are a veteran, no matter whether you're served in time of peace or time of war, if you're in need of mobility aid to get upstairs, we are providing a stairlift from Severia that will be professionally installed for you at absolutely no cost. So you just go to liftingahero.com. and you can sign up right there.
And what are you going to be covering during the show today?
So we'll talk a little bit more about that, and then we'll also be talking about bathroom safety.
Bathroom safety. If our listeners want to reach out to you to get more information about the Veterans Lift giveaway from Severia and Access and the other fine services that you provide, where do they go?
You can go to www.allaboutaccess.com, or you can give us a call at 630-616-6249.
Mr. Janky, Tom, 5 miles east of the Hochberg Shopping Mall. Janky, entertaining's coming up for the holidays.
Yes, it is.
And Halloween is within, 45 days. I mean,
no.
50 days.
I was just at the Home Depot and Menards, and they've already putting out Christmas stuff.
Yes, and Costco.
And
Costco.
You know what? Costco was the first one that I saw, and that was a few weeks ago. And I was down in Florida. How could you even be thinking about Christmas down in Florida?
Costco had Halloween up after the day after the 4th of July. They had the Halloween stuff, all that Michigas up.
But you know what's amazing is we sit there and we kind of gripe and go, wow, how could you be putting this so early?
It's around the corner.
And then boom, all of a sudden it's upon us.
Yeah.
So
I'll tell you what, Tommy, I walked outside one morning this past week. Beautiful weather this past week, like 5 o'clock to let the dogs out. It was like 55, 60 degrees. Yeah. It had that little, hey, wake up. I'm trying to find my thing here.
Winter is coming.
That's coming. And I was sitting there. I'm like, hey, come on, go do your business here with the dogs.
Winter is coming.
And I'm just like, good, got that little bite in the air. It wakes you up, kind of brings you into reality. So go ahead.
And as I say, I was down in Florida. I walked out my door. It was 100 degrees with about 90% humidity.
Different
and then
weather.
I go into Costco and I see Christmas trees and I go, something just doesn't add up.
Something's not right here.
Something's not right. So, yes, we're going to talk about the upcoming holiday season and what you could and could not do in a short period of time.
Okay. If our listeners want to reach out to you and learn more about your fine team, they're still working today. When do they close?
They close at 5 o'clock today. So you got another hour, 45 minutes or so. So anyway, 708-343-3900, or better yet, go to buildersupplyoutlet.com.
We're going to come back, talk more about that, Tommy, about getting ready and doing projects.
Yep.
And even though the time is short and the end of the year is coming up and Halloween is 45 days away, which means Thanksgiving is 65, 70 days away, which means Christmas is 85, is 100 some days away, which is my birthday, by the way, Frank, in case you're wondering. Double extra large.
Well, happy early birthday.
I've got big shoulders.
Big present.
We're going to talk about more of that coming after the break. This is Home Sweet Home Chicago, 312-981-7200, 312-981-7200. Mega Pros call, text, and photo line. Home Sweet Home Chicago at 720 WGN.
So the kids are back at school, the pool parties are over, and the last big barbecue is done. Time to give your deck a rest, right? Wrong. Now is the perfect time for a Deck Tech visit. Deck Tech cleans, seals, and protects your deck, restoring it to its natural beauty. Deck Tech has been helping Chicagoans enjoy the outdoors for over 25 years. So get the deck ready for one last run this year. For a free estimate, call 800-956-DECK, 800-956-DECK, or visit restoreyourdeck.com.
1-800-956-DECK. Call Deck Tech.
Your basement is flooded, and your house is a mess. Your family's so disgusted. It's time to come to bed. plumber. If you need a helping hand, call the Fair Plumber. He service all Chicagoland. Yeah, fairplumber.com.
Here's a little ad I wrote. You might want to do this note for note. Don't worry. Look happy. MainStreet312.com. The dentists in Barrington at MainStreet312.com have for you, the new patient, a teeth cleaning and fluoride treatment and full set of x-rays, plus a treatment plan for $79. $79 for you, the new patient. You think you're going to need more than just that? Don't worry. You won't need to get your teeth cleaned here and then implants there and then maybe clear aligners somewhere else. Doctors Patani and Minalt are experts at the art and science of family dentistry. Remember, this is not discount dentistry. They do great work under one roof in Barrington at a discounted price for you, the new patient. You've put this off long enough. You'll feel good the minute you make that call. 847-381-5958. Call 847-381-5958 or click on MainStreet312.com. Let's brighten that smile and look happy.
At CDW, we get the right network makes remote locations seem less remote.
Great, because my data is lagging out here.
CDW can orchestrate the Aruba Edge Services platform, bringing computing closer to where data is created. It automates, unifies, and secures the edge, fixing problems before they impact your business, giving your network a sixth sense. Someone at the door?
Just a moose. He works here.
Aruba and IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it. Find out more at cdw.com/Aruba.
Having repairs done in your apartment should never come with strings attached, like being harassed and constantly pressured for sexual favors.
My landlord told me my rent would be free if I gave him something in exchange.
The Fair Housing Act protects you from harassment by anyone associated with your housing, including someone making unwelcome sexual advances. If this happens to you, file a complaint with HUD. No strings attached. To learn more, visit HUD.gov/fairhousing. If you fear for your safety, call 911. A public service message from HUD in partnership with the National Fair Housing Alliance.
Weekdays on WGN-TV, meet a group of people who wake up and see things a little less sunny. WGN-TV Morning News, Monday from 6 to 10.
Home Sweet Home Chicago.
So, Tommy, so everybody knows what a farmhouse sink is.
It's a fireplace sink. A farmhouse sink basically lays and cradles within the cabinet, but it gives you that 1920s, 1930s. I forget what they call that era.
The Depression. The Roaring 20s.
Wake up first thing.
What do you call the late 30s? The Depression.
Yeah, you know what?
Depression.
When I get back to the store after the show, I'm renaming that thing from the Farmington sink to the Depression sink. I'm not sure it's going to have the same shebang, but
you should have a Hoover line and then like a Roosevelt line, like really bad.
And then like a bread line.
A bread line.
Now, here's David Hochberg and Home Sweet Home Chicago.
Ray, that's one of the best.
I love
Tom
Ray.
Sharp,
but Ray Kaplan.
Ray Kaplan absolutely
She's sharp.
crushed you right into fine wine.
You know what? She put me in the blender and pulverized me.
She just, it's like Lucy and the.
But she did it very nicely.
Oh yeah,
she's always nice.
Very respectfully. Yeah,
of course.
It's like Lucy and Ethel in the drum crushing the grapes. That's Tom. 312-981-7200. Every time I hear that little segment. So tell me about what's going on. Tell our listeners as well. Has the supply chain gotten any better, or it doesn't really matter because you buy in such bulk and you've got containers sitting there ready to unload? Where are we? And educate us and bring us up to speed of where we're at.
Yes, across the board. Yes. Supply side is getting better. Our main cabinet line was 28 weeks. They have now just announced they're 13.
Wow.
So that's coming down pretty
huge.
And that happens pretty quick because they just, orders start coming down, production is still built up, and they're going to bring their lead times down. So
28 to 13 weeks.
Yes.
Wow, that's huge.
The cost of containers, we bring them in from different foreign countries. Containers were running in the 26 to 20.
I heard 30.
Well, let's back this up. Let's back the bus up a little bit.
Pre-COVID, what was it?
2 years ago, it was $5,500. Then our highest point that we paid, I think it was 26, maybe 27,000.
Yeah.
There was some going over 30,000,
yeah.
And that has now been brought down. We have a container arriving, in the next couple of weeks. I think that one is around 12.
Wow.
12 or 13. So some
Things
of
are
that,
getting back in line.
You know, again, I that was the old supply and demand.
Sure.
I mean, that the demand was so much greater than supply, and these shipping container people just gouged everybody.
Yeah.
And it's just, it is what it is. Free enterprise. Welcome to America.
I read something that consumers are starting to spend less. Are you seeing that on your floors? Are you seeing a decrease of volume of traffic coming in? And not only traffic coming in, because this is how I gauge. The experts on our show is how I gauge how the economy is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because you guys are at the tip of the spear every single day, right? Our business is off 70% because the 30-year fix is at 6%. They finally announced that after it's been in the sixes for over a month and a half now. Oh, the average. Yeah, because it's a month trailing average. And the average finally got caught up because it finally took into last month's rates. That's how it works, listeners, okay? We see it 30 days ahead of time.
Yeah.
And I read something that Amazon's expecting a major shock. Bloomberg had a report yesterday that Amazon is bracing for impact, Tommy, because
look at Target,
Yeah.
look at Walmart. What happened is they all bought a tremendous
Inventory.
amount of material, and then this slowdown came faster than they would have expected. So now they're discounting everything. So, we do several different types of tracking. Actually, believe it or not, we're kind of sophisticated at this. We track the amount of people walking in and out our doors so we can compare it week after week, month after month, year after year. The other thing is we also value what the transactional amount is.
Dollar amount per transaction?
Dollar amount per transaction. So, that we're seeing probably about a 10 to 12% drop.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So, and everybody can sit back and we can sit back and go, oh my goodness, we're up 20% this year. Well, no, we're not, because we've had 25% of increases come through.
Right,
So
on price increases.
With price increases.
So your sales revenues are up because your prices have gone up, because you had to jack your prices up because your costs have gone up.
Absolutely.
Right.
And all of our other costs. So to hedge our bet, we too have been buying like crazy. My inventory levels that my kids are reporting back to me is through the bloody roof.
Frank's got a quick question for you.
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say that 10 to 12% drop that you were talking about, is that more from people buying less or from prices starting to come down?
No, that's the one thing. Prices are not coming down.
Wow.
Lead times are coming down. Now, everybody was saying, we would get letters weekly from door manufacturers, from countertop people, from cabinet manufacturers that, supply side, the cost of bringing materials in, freight costs were up, wages were up, raw materials were up. Well, we're starting to see, look at unemployment is starting to creep up a little bit, but that's not affecting. I mean, people still want to be paid a gazillion. They want to be paid, $25 to flip hamburgers. And it's just something that, there's only so much that a business can take and absorb. But now we have really gone out and we've spent a lot of money, looking at the things that you could do now. We kind of talked about this whole holiday. Do you want me to?
Yeah, you got 3 minutes. We could pick it up. We got 2 minutes. We could pick it up on the other side if you could tease it a little bit.
Because what you've got is, this is typically the time right now where our business is through the roof, just because everybody's pushing to get done for either Thanksgiving and or Christmas. Well, part of the problem is people have put the brakes on. When that 6% hit, we're seeing it from the real estate side that inventory is starting to creep up. Those days of 39 offers on a house and 100,000 over ask is
over.
waning.
Yeah. Well, it's done. It's over.
It's done for everything is cyclical.
Well, it's done for right now.
Yes.
Listen, we had a good 30-month run where we talked about it during the last show, okay, where you would put offers in on homes and you would see it in your volume out the door. Joe was talking about it, that his volume's down, but his ticket amount is up. The cost per project's up because our listeners are spending more money on the projects that they're doing, but the volume of new business coming in is not as great as it was at this time last year. That's all the function of the higher interest rates that are impacting the market. You have houses on the market right now, Tom, that are off anywhere from 5 to 10% in prices.
Yep.
They're sitting on the market 90 to 150 days. They're taking contingencies, which you would never take in a contingency. What's a contingency for our listeners who don't know? I will buy Tom's house based upon contingent upon me selling my house. Okay. Right. Last year at this time, Tommy, contingency. Yeah. Have a nice day. See you later. Okay. This time last year, escalator clauses. Today, no escalator clauses. This time last year, you put your house on the market, it's gone in a week for $50,000 to $50,000 more than you listed for. Today, sitting on the market 5 to 6 months, and you're having price reductions. Fire away.
Builders down in South Florida wouldn't even talk to you unless you were a cash buyer.
Yeah.
They did not want it. They would
this
not
time
talk
last
to you.
year.
Yes. They would not, even earlier this year.
Now they're talking.
Yeah, now they're definitely talking.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, remember I didn't return your phone call the past 30 months? Hey, how you doing?
How you doing?
We got some inventory. All right, we're going to come back with that, Tommy, after the break. 312-981-7200. It's the Mega Pros call, text, and photo line. This is Home Sweet Home Chicago on WGN.
When news breaks in Chicago or the world, you'll hear it here, and we'll talk about it here. This is Chicago's very own 720 WGN, or download the WGN radio app and stream us live.
WGN Radio News is on the air. Good afternoon. I'm Kevin Wells at 3:30. Chicago police are searching for suspects involved in a double homicide in the South Loop today. Those details coming up after WGN Sports. Northwestern now 1-1 on the season. They lose to Duke in their home opener 31-23 at Ryan Field. Ryan Helinski, another great game, 435 yards passing. Southern Illinois comes to Evanston next Saturday at 11 o'clock. Other scores today, Virginia and Illinois underway. It's 3-0 Virginia. Washington State and Wisconsin are scoreless. Indiana State trailing Purdue 14-0. That also in the first. Idaho and Indiana underway. That one is scoreless. Iowa State and Iowa, that one also getting going. Iowa up 7 over the Cyclones. Marshall and Notre Dame 7-6 in favor of Notre Dame. Northern Illinois and Tulsa gets going tonight at 6. White Sox news. Tony La Russa's team of doctors has cleared him to travel to Oakland. He has not been cleared to return to the dugout at this time. Sox and A's just underway at the Coliseum. Score right now that in the bottom of the first, it is scoreless. Cubs and Giants in the 8th inning, 4-2 right now in favor of the Giants. In the top of the 8th, Chicago Fire hosting Miami tonight. That one gets going at 7. WGN traffic. Now things looking heavy on the Edens and the Kennedy. An hour inbound on the Kennedy, 30 inbound on the Edens. Outbound Eisenhower is 45 minutes. Inbound is 50. No delays on the Stevenson. Things about 30 minutes into the drive from 355. Dan Ryan is a little heavy right now. 20 minutes inbound, about 15 minutes outbound. Bishop Ford, an accident blocking the 2 left lanes right now. Inbound at 115th, really slowing things back all the way back to 130th. From 8094 to the Dan Ryan, it's going to be about a 25-minute ride. DeSable Lakeshore Drive, 20 minutes around the Oak Street curve, clearing after Chicago Avenue. Chicago police say they're investigating a double homicide in Chinatown this morning. They say 2 men, ages 30 and 40, both killed near the 0 to 100 block of West Cermak Road around 2 in the morning. There's currently no one in custody. Attorneys for R. Kelly and his 2 co-defendants rested their cases Friday, and the singer's federal child co-defendant, Daryl McDavid, testifying that he had no reason to believe that the earlier rape allegations against his employer were factual. Closing arguments are expected on Monday. The jury will start deliberating shortly after. Kelly has been charged with producing and receiving child pornography and enticing minors to engage in sexual activity. His 2 co-defendants have been charged with conspiracy in this case. His business manager, McDavid, also charged with obstruction of justice, that relating back to Kelly's 2008 trial here in Cook County. And now the forecast for the WGN Chicago Weather Center. Highs in the middle 80s today, cooler along the lake. Clouds increasing overnight tonight. We'll see temperatures in the 60s downtown and in Lakeside. For Sunday, September 11th, cloudy with a period of showers and some thunderstorms throughout the day. We'll see temperatures in the mid-70s, falling into the 60s in the afternoon. And on September 12th, for your Monday to kick off the work week, it's going to feel a lot like fall. See temperatures in the low to mid-60s, 15 degrees below normal, the first sub-70-degree day since June. Right now, though, 82 at O'Hare, still 84 at Midway, and 77 along Chicago's lakefront. Celebrating our 100th year serving Chicago, I'm Kevin Wells on Chicago's very own 720 WGN.
That's the sound of the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program, saving you money and energy. With rebates on Energy Star appliances, so you can come back to a home full of savings. Discover more ways to save at ComEd.com/home savings. ComEd, powering lives.
BMO Harris is a proud sponsor of the Home Sweet Home Chicago radio program. If you, like many other homeowners right now, are considering a home renovation project, contact BMO Harris Bank to learn more about how they can help you finance your project. For more information, visit them at bmoharris.com/homesweethome. That's bmoharris.com/homesweethome. Or just click their link on the WGN Home Sweet Home Chicago program page.
Back in 1969, when Gary Lindemann was a firefighter on the North Shore, he started Lindemann Chimney Company out of concern for fireplace safety. Today, Lindemann Chimney and Fireplace is the leader in the chimney industry and remains a family business today. They'll handle anything related to your fireplace or chimney, from annual maintenance and cleanings to chimney tuck pointing and masonry, to gas logs and fireplace installation, to impressive fireplace remodels. Call the pros at Lindemann Chimney and Fireplace. Many people ask, how often should you have your fireplace cleaned and inspected? Well, according to the Chimney Safety Institute of America, the answer is every year. Regular maintenance ensures the proper, safe operation of your home's fireplace. So if you can't recall the last time you had your fireplace cleaned and inspected, go to lindemann.com, LINDEMANN.com. Book your chimney cleaning appointment instantly online. Do it now. Check it off your list. That's lindemann.com. Lindemann Chimney and Fireplace. Safe and sound since 1969.
Despite whatever you may have heard about the real estate market lately, if you're interested in buying or selling a home or need to sell, don't worry that you've missed the boat. In my mind, it's always a great time to buy the right property at the right price. I'm Lisa Dent. I'll tell you what, I'm a big fan of Amy Kite. I've known her for years. It's Amy Kite with Keller Williams Realty Infinity. Amy knows there's lots of reasons people decide to move, one of which is people are uncoupling and moving apart and needing to find one or two new homes and sell their current home. In cases like this, Amy becomes more like a real estate planner, taking into consideration the needs of both parties and helping them move as seamlessly as possible into the next phases of their lives. Listen, Amy says properties are still moving and everyone needs a roof over their head. Don't let the fear of a fluctuating market stop you from living your best life. Call Amy Kite and she will sell your home. Go to amywillsellyourhome.com. That's amywillsellyourhome.com.
Illinoisans, come on down! It's time to play the Price is Right instant ticket from the Illinois Lottery. Play today for a chance at $400,000.
Be smart, play smart. Must be 18 or older to play. Game odds and official contest details available at IllinoisLottery.com.
TR to the rescue again. Our 26th president is back to share his insights live on stage with me, John Williams. Saturday, October 22nd, 10 a.m., Classic Cinemas, Tivoli Theater. Tickets at WGNradio.com/TR. Sponsored by the Joint Relief Institute.
Now, here's Home Sweet Home Chicago.
312-981-7200. We are enjoying delicious coffee from Roast to Orders Coffee and Tea for a Cause. If you want to help us with the Vestathon that's coming up this coming February, you could go to coffeeforacause.org and click on the Get Behind the Vest link. All the coffee that you order, a portion of the sales will go towards helping us buy police vests, bulletproof vests for police officers. So if you're going to drink coffee, Frank had some. Frank, your thoughts on the coffee this morning?
I thought it had a really good flavor to it.
Yes. So Stephen A. Leahy's waiting for everybody else to drink the coffee to make sure it's okay. God forbid he steps out of his comfort zone. But again, the official coffee of the show, Roast to Orders Coffee and Tea for a Cause. You can go to coffeeforcause.org, coffeeforcause.org, and click Get Behind the Vest. Every time you order, a portion of that order will go to the Chicago Police Memorial Foundation to help us buy vests for Chicago police officers. Tom Jenke, let's talk about supply chain issues again.
Okay.
Going in the break, we talked about at this time last year, homes were going for cash, $50,000 above ask price. Forget about the home inspection, waiving home inspection, waiving anything. Now
appraisals, everything
waiving
else.
Appraisals, cash order, cash offers. Now you're seeing perma-seal trucks in sellers' driveways because they have to fix the stuff that's wrong, and you're having houses sit on the market. Now, relate that to what you're doing, okay? Because the fix and flip market is kind of shrunk a little bit because that segment's a little leery about buying something and then putting it on the market in a decreasing value market. We saw it in 2008, Tom.
Right. Yeah.
We saw it in 2009. A lot of those companies got blown up and blown out, and the guys and gals that are left who made it through the 07-08 disaster are seeing the same signs, not as bad, but they're pulling back a little bit. Is that what you're seeing?
Definitely. We've got the finger on the pulse with this pretty well because we service a lot of the big flippers in the Chicagoland area. And what they've told us is their margins are really shrinking because they had to buy the home at a premium with the increased cost of materials.
Mm-hmm.
Their cost for bringing this house up to market was a lot more expensive. Now, all of a sudden, the softening of the market. So we've definitely seen a bit of a decrease in that business. You've got some of the contractors are not taking some of the flipper work right now from investors just because there's no money in it. So, I'm not going to say that we value engineer, but we search for products that, still have a high degree of quality, but then they're also affordable for that segment of the market. And, we've brought products in there to accommodate them on that. But, the other thing, too, is so many people, they were putting money into their house to make it look beautiful, to put it on the market. Right. And they were getting premium dollars. So, they put, $30,000 in a kitchen, they're going to get a $40,000 return on it when they go to sell it. Well, with home equity loans and what have you, that cost of money is going up.
Yes.
That's definitely slowing down. And I just think too is, when that big R word gets talked about on the news all the time, that little thing called recession.
Yeah.
Everybody kind of freezes
Puckers
a
up.
little bit. They
Yeah.
pucker up in a big way. So. Fortunately, we're still fine. We're still selling kitchens, but you can right now. We have several different manufacturers that you can order kitchens and still have it done by Christmas time.
Can you find a contractor to put it in?
That's the big question. Now, I will say that we've been hearing from a bunch of the contractors that you'll have a GC and then he'll have all these subs. Well. The GC would have all this work to do, but he couldn't find any subs. Now, all of a sudden, they're starting to get the phone call.
Mm-hmm.
Got any work? Got any work? And this is kind of a bittersweet pill for some of these GCs. We're going, wait a minute. I was supporting you all those years.
Yep.
And then, you decided there was a bigger pie in the sky. All of a sudden, that sky started to fall. Now you're coming back asking me for work. So I think the contractors are catching up on the backlog of work that they had.
Correct.
So I think things are freeing up. Plus, if you go out and you buy a kitchen now and it takes 14 weeks, by 14 weeks, they're going to slow down even more.
Right.
And they're not getting the job so far out. I've got my best friend is a GC.
What is a GC for our listeners that don't know?
General contractor.
Okay.
So a general contractor will take and he will take the job and then he will have subcontractors. He'll have a plumber, an electrician, and an HVAC guy.
He coordinates all that. He pays
all.
them. He gets the bids, insurance, all that stuff.
Yep.
So you're the homeowner is dealing with one individual.
Company.
Okay,
Yes.
go ahead. I want to make sure our listeners understood how it broke down.
Understood. He's telling me that, before he was 6, 8, 10 months, 12 months out in some cases. He says, right now I can take jobs probably in 3 months. So when you think about, you're going to order a kitchen that's 12 weeks out and he's 3 months out, put the two together.
Bingo.
Yeah, you could potentially still get, but your time is definitely running slow to be able to get things done by Christmas as far as a kitchen is concerned. But let's talk about the easy thing. We are really out there promoting vanities. Vanities is so easy. You don't have to redo your floor. You don't have to redo the whole bathroom. And we've really doubled down. I think we're just over 800 in stock right now.
Of vanities.
We've really started to pare down some of our offering in our store because we want to be the best at a category. So, vanities are definitely one of them. We have got the biggest selection of anybody in Chicago. Right at our fingertips, come in, buy it, walk out with it. Doors, that's an easy thing to replace some doors and trim. That spruces up a house like you wouldn't believe it. You know, people are doing white doors. They're doing black hinges. That's the real popular thing. Oh, huge. They're doing black faucets now.
Yeah, I would say black fixtures are really popular.
Black, not necessarily from like black toilets or black sinks.
No, I was talking about like the faucet, the handhelds in the shower, you know, shower heads and stuff like that.
Definitely doing it because you know what? There's so much white quartz out there that they really needed a contrasting color. So faucets is another thing. You've heard me talk about it on the show before. These lighted mirrors. We have another container. I cannot believe how many backlit or LED mirrors that we sell. And the thing is, we have 300, 400, 500 in stock at all times.
Wow.
So, there's certain things that you can still do now to be able to, spruce up the house. Before it used to be flooring, we're kind of getting out of the flooring. We're going to leave that to the big boys.
Yeah.
I'm not going to wrestle.
Specialty.
I'm not going to wrestle in an arena, and that's been footballed, and it's
right. Well, Mr. Floor control. I mean, guys like that and companies like that have got put more flooring in than you do.
My gosh, yes. And then you're dealing with the big box stores.
Sure.
And, and they're not only orange or they're green or they're a different
rhymes
color.
With Home Depot or Lowe's, right?
Yes,
or Menards
or something.
Right, it all rhymes with those three. Yeah.
But no, we want to specialize in what we can really be the best at and have the inventory behind us to back it up. So
phone number and location, we got to hit a break.
You are sitting at 708-343-3900. But go to our website. We spend a lot of time, effort, and energy putting the prices on. It is buildersupplyoutlet.com.
And this is Home Sweet Home Chicago on 720 WGN. Phone, text, and photo line. Sponsored by Mega Pros Joe at Mega Pros Home Improvement. 312-981-7200. Keep the text coming in. We're going to pay some bills. Be right back.
Hi, it's Lindsay of House Smarts Radio. You've heard me talk about Builders Supply Outlet for years, but now hear from their customer Janelle in Naperville.
I heard about BSO and The Edge through online, just researching different places where we could renovate our kitchen. I loved my experience with The Edge. My designer was phenomenal. She basically held us by the hand and guided us through the whole entire process. The follow-up and the care and the detail and the quality of from the material to the great customer services that I have received throughout the whole entire process. It is definitely worth the trip to go see BSO. They are such a phenomenal team and a phenomenal company to work with.
Another satisfied customer. But remember, we're so much more than kitchen cabinets. Builders Supply Outlet is located just 5 miles east of the Oakbrook Shopping Mall on Cermak Road in Broadview, or online at buildersupplyoutlet.com.
Quality and savings are what you get at Builder Supply Outlet.
Hi, it's Mike and Dean from Lindholm Roofing, Chicagoland's most trusted roofing, siding, gutters, and tuck pointing company.
Lindholm Roofing is most trusted because of our stability. We're family owned since 1949. That's 73 years of hard work and doing things the right way.
You know, Mike, I think Lindholm Roofing's most trusted because of our consistent A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau.
Okay, Dean, we're sure proud of that, but I think it's Lindholm Roofing's experienced sales reps and in-depth knowledge that makes us the most trusted. We'll never try to sell you something you don't need.
Yeah, that's true, Mike. And Lindholm Roofing takes on all roofing, siding, gutter, tuck pointing jobs. Big or small, we do them all because every customer is important to us. That's why we're the most trusted.
Okay, Dean, maybe we can't agree on the why, but we can agree that Lindholm Roofing is Chicagoland's most trusted roofing, siding, gutters, and tuck pointing company.
For a free inspection, call 888-4-ROOFER or visit us at lindholmroofing.com.
Lindholm Roofing, our family has your family covered.
Oh, I don't have to tell you, the weather around here is about to change, and when the cold blast of air comes back, does your home have a hard time staying warm? I'll bet it's those old drafty windows and doors. We went through that. This is John Williams. We called Next Door and Window, and you should too. Next Door and Window installed beautiful, energy-efficient Marvin windows and the stunning sliding patio door at our home, and we've hired them again. You'll love their expertise and how they do business. Next Door and Window has been replacing windows and doors for over 20 years now. And they offer it all, including fiberglass windows, which are 8 times stronger than vinyl. Enjoy a proven, simple, and educational window and door replacement process. That's what we had. One of their design and energy experts will bring the showroom to you with a complimentary appointment. Right now, ask about buy one, get one 30% off on windows and doors. Call 1-800-NEXT-DOOR or go to 1-800-NEXTDOOR.com. Tell them John Williams sent you.
Home Sweet Home Chicago.
Text us what the craziest thing you found in your sump pimp. A pump pimp? What? Some pimp.
Whoever looks in there.
Some pimp. What is it? Some pit.
Some
pit. Say that 10 times quick.
Now, here's David Hochberg and Home Sweet Home Chicago.
And Stephen Leahy's some pimp is the IRS tax code. He just reads it. He's like, I don't need this. I know this already. Right into the pump. Some pump.
Oh, I tell you what, that IRS code will choke anything. It's pretty big.
312-981-7200 Choke Talk here on WGN. So what's going on, Stephen A. Leahy? I know you're a big fan of this new act that was signed into law. Huge fan of it. You talk about it all the time. What is it? What items are in the bill that's now law? What items are in the law that our listeners should be aware of that might not be aware of, so it doesn't come back and bite them in the tuchus when they file their taxes next year?
I wish I could say tuchus.
It's a Yiddish thing.
I know,
you got to be born.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say certain Irish words like old style. But go ahead.
Well, let me tell you this. First, I got to tell you, this is very good for me. You're
going to be very busy.
Inflation Reduction Act. I told you I have to laugh every time. Anyway, it's going to be good for me, right? Because they're going after people. And I keep hearing, no, don't worry about it. They're going after people who make a lot of money. They're not going after. So I like to, let's stop and think about that. The IRS,
what's your definition of a lot of money?
Well, first, they say 400,000. Okay, you make less than 400,000, no problem. You don't have anything to worry about. But let's stop and think about it. They're telling us that they can't audit them now because they don't have any auditors, and so they have to hire new ones. Okay, so you're going to have to hire new ones to go after those people who make more than 400,000. When you hire new auditors, they can't start there. They don't know how to audit them. So and I've talked to auditors, IRS auditors. Well, how does it work? Well, you start at the bottom, right? So you have to start with the easy cases, low-hanging fruit. So they have to train there. Well, if you're training there, I mean, you're going to hire a lot of people to do the 400,000. They got to start auditing people who make less than that to get trained to go over to people who make over that. So there are going to be a lot of training audits. And those audits, and it's going to take some years to get those because they have to hire a lot of people. It's going to take some time to get those people, and it's going to take some time to train those people. And this is what you can do in the meantime. In the meantime, if you're running a business, here's what I tell all small business owners. First, get your business off of your personal tax return. Okay, so if you have an LLC and you have a one-member LLC and it's all your business deductions are on Schedule C of your 1040, right? And I know most people know what I'm talking about, right? Get it off of there. Go to get a subchapter S company and put your business on a separate tax return, because that's where the IRS is going to be looking, right? The red flags, what they call, right? The red flags that they look for. And one of the so what do they look for? Well, business deductions on your personal tax returns. I've had a lot of people who went to a tax preparer, and the tax preparer, just a great tax preparer, because they get me a huge refund.
Oh, he's a magician.
Yeah, it's like,
I don't pay anything. I got money back.
I got a huge benefit.
I don't know what he or she does, but they're phenomenal.
They tell their family, and all their family goes in and say, hey, it's right. This guy gets us a huge amount of money back. Yeah. And people, because they get the money from the IRS, think it's legit because the IRS sends them the money. It takes it makes maybe a year, maybe 2 years before the IRS catches up with you, and then they do an audit. Now they can go back 3 years for an audit, unless it affects more than 25% of your income. Then they go back 6 years.
Tom, you ever have an audit?
I have not. Are you talking a personal or a business?
Yes, either one.
I've had a sales tax audit.
Mm-hmm. Okay, IRS.
That's the Illinois Department of Revenue.
Okay, that's but no IRS.
Negative.
All right, what about you, Frank?
No IRS, but we have through the state of Wisconsin, state of Illinois.
I had one. Not a very pleasant experience.
Was it easier to go through the proctology exam?
I enjoyed that a lot better, right? At least I was out like a light, and I got to drink a barium milkshake the night before.
Well,
but
here's the thing.
It's not a very pleasant
Even
experience.
if you don't owe any money at the end of it, it still costs you a lot to get involved in it, and it takes hours of your time.
I had my CPA sitting there. I had to pay for the CPA to review everything with the IRS agent. I didn't know what I was. I'm like, he's the guy that's doing it. He's calling me
over and over again.
Right.
And you go through every piece of paper. And even if you come out and you don't really owe, you still have to pay there's still a big price to pay.
And I think regardless, they're going to find something. You're going to pay them something. For them to walk away and say, you owe nothing, I've never heard that happen.
I have to agree with you. And because, and this way, when people say, well, it's only the criminals, they only go after tax cheats. No, they go after. Now, most people, if you're running your own business, you don't know the tax code.
No.
Right? You might take some deductions but here's what's more likely is that you took legitimate deductions, but you don't have the paperwork to back it up.
Correct.
Or you didn't take the records. You didn't keep records. That's the thing. That's what my clients, that's their big thing. They're great at what they do, but it's not just providing good customer service or a great product. It's keeping records. That's part of business. And many people that's their problem. They don't keep good records.
Or they don't want to deal with keeping good records because that's not the fun part. Right?
Well, it's also when you're running a business, it takes
necessary.
time.
Totally.
It takes time. It takes time and energy. And if you can, and most people don't want to skirt around it, but they do. And then that's why I say sometimes it's a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, and you haven't filed your tax returns only because you don't keep good records and you don't know where to begin. And so that's what we try to help people. First, you got to start there. You got to start getting compliance and then stay in compliance and come up with the program. And first structure your business correctly and then keep good records. That's really important.
All right, we got to hit a break. If our listeners want to reach out, we're going to talk more about this on the other side of the hour. Also want to bring Frank in here to talk about all the wonderful things that he's doing. Then we'll go back to you, Stevie. If our listeners want to reach out to you to learn more about what you do and your fine team, what's the best way to reach out?
Go to WGNTaxman.com. And you can find a lot of information there about Open Tax Advocates, or you can call me at 312-664-6649. Always happy to answer questions. If you have a question, call me. I'm always happy to answer.
This is Home Sweet Home Chicago on 720 WGN, 312-981-7200. That is the MegaPros call, text, and photo line. We are going to take a quick break and throw it over to the news, traffic, and weather and pick you up on the other side.
You may already know Mr. Floor for the beautiful wood floors that we install, sand, and refinish. Mr. Floor is a full-service local Chicagoland company who has provided homeowners and businesses with complete flooring solutions for over 30 years. Hi, I'm Igor Marak of Mr. Floor, and born out of our extensive experience and knowledge with hardwood floors comes the best hardwood floor cleaner on the market. As we visit Chicagoland homes and businesses every day, we see the damage that incorrect floor maintenance can cause. Most people are not cleaning their hardwood floors properly, and as we all know, a bucket of water and a mop is the surest way to ruin a wood floor. Forget about those harsh chemicals and cleaning products that leave your floors hazy and lifeless. We've researched, developed, and now produce the best hardwood floor cleaner ever. Our cleaner breaks the bonds of dirt and grease from your floor's coating without harming it. It's also eco and pet friendly too. Thousands of Mr. Floor clients have been using our cleaners for years, and now you can too. Visit us online at MrFloor.com to learn more and place your order. Use promo code WGN at checkout for a special offer. Mr. Floor, the first and last name in floors.
Hi, this is David Hochberg, and I am here with my really good friend and real estate attorney and trust planning expert, David Schluter. Dave, I got a quick question for you. How do our listeners who are buying and moving into condos avoid running into unforeseen expenses that could exceed their personal budget?
Your attorney has a crack during the attorney review period to go ahead and ask any informational questions about recent increases that are contemplated in the future, and any special assessments that might come up. If they are too high, we can get you out of the deal within that period. Just use a qualified real estate attorney like me.
I'm telling you, David's done all of my real estate transactions. I refer him to all of our listeners. He's the best in the business. If you have any real estate law questions or buying or selling a home, call David Schluter, 630-285-5300. That's 630-285-5300. Give him a call today.
Your basement is already dry most of the time, but if you want your basement dry all of the time, you know who to call. Permaseal at 800-421-SEAL or permaseal.net.
Hi, it's Lou Manfredini, and I'm here with Frank Wazalewski, Vice President of Access. Now, you often say, with Access, no job is too small. What do you mean by that?
No job too small to us means anything that a client needs, we're able to do for them. Something as simple as a grab bar is just as important as a home elevator.
Access has been the leaders in ADA general contracting since 1990. So, Frank, you've been doing this for a long time. What is the most rewarding aspect of your job?
Every day we get to change somebody's life. We get to go and evaluate what they're having difficulty with and then make a small change or a large change and give them the dignity and independence of being able to live life on their own and do things for themselves. It is just so rewarding.
From a simple bathroom grab bar installation to a whole home modification, Access is the company to call. Call 844-IL-LIFTS or visit allaboutaccess.com. That's 844-IL-LIFTS or visit allaboutaccess.com, and you can tell them that Lou sent you.
Broadcast excellence for Chicago and the Midwest for 100 years. This is WGN at AM 720 and on smart devices worldwide. WGN Chicago, a Nexstar Media Group station.
WGN Radio News is on the air. Good afternoon. I'm Kevin Wells at 4 o'clock. The news is sponsored by Main Street Smiles. A miracle for the 24-year-old culinary student shot multiple times in Lincoln Park a few months ago. He's back home. Details coming after WGN traffic. Getting pretty heavy out there on the inbound side of things across the highways and interstates right now. 30 minutes inbound on the Edens, over an hour inbound on the Kennedy from O'Hare. Outbound Kennedy is about 45 minutes. Solid traffic between Pulaski and the Edens. Looking at the Eisenhower, that's also an hour to the old post office from Route 390. Manheim and Austin in between there, a lot of problems. Also, a lot of brake lights between Ogden and Morgan. Stevenson's 40 minutes into the drive from 355. Outbound side is 30. Dan Ryan heavy on the inbound side, 20 minutes. No delays on the outbound Ryan. Bishop Ford looking good up to the Dan Ryan from 8094. No delays. That accident has been cleared up from the last hour. DeSable Lakeshore Drive. Looking at about a 15-minute ride from Marquette to Monroe. Stop and go between Roosevelt and Monroe on the northbound side. I-80, a little bit heavy right now between Larkin and Richards. An aspiring chef who was shot and critically wounded 4 months ago during an armed robbery in Lincoln Park. He's now back home. The mother of 24-year-old culinary student Dakota Early tweeted he's home from the hospital and is continuing to recover from his injuries. She added he's doing well, but didn't elaborate on specifics. Early was on life support after the attack at gunpoint, which happened as he was walking home and which was caught on surveillance video. Part of his leg had to be amputated. 19-year-old Tyshawn Brownlee is charged with attempted murder in that shooting. Meanwhile, a 17-year-old boy is dead following a shooting in Kenwood that happened off campus during a high school's lunch hour. It happened in the 1600 block of East 50th Place just afternoon yesterday. The victim got into some type of fight with the suspects riding in a car. Police say the suspects chased the teen into a residential parking lot a few blocks from Kenwood Academy, where they shot and killed him. Tio Hardiman is with Violence Interrupters.
Young brothers need to learn how to come to the table. It's gangster when you come to the table and try to work it out before you kill somebody. That's what's gangster.
Kenwood Academy was placed on lockdown. And tomorrow marks the 21st anniversary of the 9/11 attacks, and one Southside Elementary School is making sure students learn about that tragic day. Students sang and danced during the ceremony, which was more than celebratory and then solemn at Hoyne Elementary. Hoyne's principal says teachers wanted to teach the children who weren't born when the tragedy happened about this part of our country's history. Hoyne Elementary Principal Michael Hinton.
In years past, we always took a silent walk around the building 9 or 11 times. And over time, it's just sort of matriculated into a celebration.
The school also set up a memorial wall where people from the community can leave their own remembrances of that tragic day. Palace officials have announced the date for the Queen's State's funeral.
Buckingham Palace have announced that the Queen's funeral will take place on September the 19th at Westminster Abbey in London. The event will take place after the public get the chance to pay their last respects to the monarch. Before the funeral, her body will lay in state for 4 days at Westminster Hall in Parliament. Palace officials have also said there would be opportunities to see the late sovereign's oak coffin as it journeys from Balmoral Castle in Scotland to Edinburgh and then to London. Karen Chamas, London.
Prince Nicholas of Greece and Denmark, a distant cousin of King Charles, honored the Queen during an art show here in Chicago yesterday. He led a moment of silence last night during his first North American art exhibition known as Resilience. The exhibit is at the National Hellenic Museum in Greektown. Nicolas said that he called the Queen Aunt Lible and she did her duty very well up until the very end. WGN Sports, Northwestern now 1-1. They lose their home opener to Duke 31-23. Head coach Pat Fitzgerald.
I just got to get them to start faster, and I'm a veteran coach. I'm not going to hit the panic button here. We just got to execute. And after the first quarter, we had a great idea what they were trying to do. And I thought we adjusted really, really well. We just can't spot a team 21 points and expect, you just can't put yourself in that kind of hole.
Other scores on the gridiron today, Washington State and Wisconsin in the second quarter. That one knotted up at 7 apiece. Purdue over Indiana State right now 21-0 with about 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. And Illinois up big on Virginia after falling behind 3-0. It's now 21 unanswered points, 21-3. The second quarter just underway. Iowa over Iowa State right now 7-0 in the second. Notre Dame, they have taken the lead on Marshall 15-12. And over to baseball right now. Cubs and Giants. It's 5-2 Giants. That one in the bottom of the ninth. Last chance for the Cubs. About 2 outs to go. It's a 3-2 count. 1 strike left in that one. And then the White Sox, they're up 4-0 on the Athletics. Big right now. Elvis Andrus, stay hot. A 3-run home run to kick things off for the Sox. He now has 5 home runs since joining the South Side. Tony La Russa also will join the team tomorrow. He's been cleared to travel but not manage just yet. Over to the soccer field. Chicago Fire hosting Miami tonight at 7 o'clock. And now the WGN forecast.
Increasing clouds around Chicagoland and warm for today as high temperatures end up in the mid to low end of the 80s, upper 70s if you're by the lake. Expect to see air quality in the moderate category for Chicagoland for today. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies and a chance for some showers and thunderstorms very late, mostly into the overnight hours if we see any at all. Northeasterly winds start to develop. That does create swimming hazards on Lake Michigan through the day and evening hours for us into Sunday. And for Sunday itself, rain at times, breezy and cooler. Chance for some isolated thunderstorms as well and some gusty northeasterly winds. Expect to see temperatures also significantly cooler for Sunday with highs only in the mid-70s. From the WGN Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Tim Joyce.
Temperatures still warming up around Chicagoland right now. It's 84 degrees now at O'Hare, 86 at Midway, and 76 degrees along Chicago's lakefront. Celebrating our 100th year of serving Chicago, I'm Kevin Wells on Chicago's very own 720 WGN.
Thank you, Mr. Wells. This is David Hochberg, host of Home Sweet Home Chicago. We're going to take a little more time after the break to give you uplifting news from Stephen A. Leahy about the IRS and all the challenges that we all face this coming year. After these messages.
JC Restoration, your trusted property damage expert, has merged with Colorado-based national firm Blue Sky Restoration Contractors. As part of the Blue Sky family, they will continue to offer the best around-the-clock restoration and emergency mitigation services for properties affected by water, fire, smoke, mold, or storms in the greater Chicagoland area. Plus, they're now able to provide commercial roofing and healthcare restoration services. Blue Sky provides commercial, industrial, governmental, residential, and multifamily restoration, renovation, environmental, and roofing services across the nation. Your familiar Chicago area crew is operating business as usual with a larger team and more resources, responding to any property damage needs. Blue Sky's engaged employees bring experience and teamwork to anyone who owns or manages property, provides property insurance, or manages property insurance claims. For more information on Blue Sky Restoration Contractors, formerly JC Restoration, visit gobluesky.com. That's goblusky.com or call 800-266-5677. JC Restoration is now Blue Sky Restoration Contractors and here to serve you.
Summer is over.
But you did a lot.
You saw people you haven't seen in a while.
You went places you haven't been in a while.
And you accumulated new and different junk.
You came home.
You got unpacked.
And you said,
where are we going to put all this?
Relax. We make junk disappear.
All you have to do is point.
Don't waste the precious hours of your day wrestling with junk.
Leave it to the professionals
at 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
We get there quickly and we don't stay long.
All that junk will be gone like magic.
And you'll have your house back again.
You're going to love how easy it is.
All you have to do is point.
No lifting.
No carrying.
No banging and bumping into walls.
Just a beautiful wide open space full of happiness and sunlight.
You'll have room to roam.
And space to breathe again.
You've never felt so free.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Advent founder, Dr. Madan Kandula.
Breathing is central to sleep.
breathing is central to life, obviously. The thing that will ruin that sleep is if you can't breathe properly. You throw something into your breathing passageway and it's blocking up, and the body doesn't like that and it fights against that. And instead of a time where you're resting and recovering, you're fighting, and you're fighting all night long. Your body's fighting all night long. And so what that means is day after day, night after night, you never get that rest that your body's looking for. Too many people suffer needlessly with issues that can be fixed nowadays. Too many people suffer needlessly because the system that they try to go to for help is broken. And so at Advent, because we focus on delivering solutions that people actually want, it opens the door for those folks to have the life that they're supposed to have, simply.
You've been hearing us talk about SOTA weight loss here on WGN. That's spelled SOTA. Stands for state of the art. SOTA weight loss has over 6,000 impressive client Google business reviews. You click around and you see why it's the #1 weight loss program when it comes to customer satisfaction. 5 stars, wrote Jean. I started out at 236 pounds with a goal of 200. I'm a 72-year-old dude. The first couple of weeks were challenging as we acclimated to figuring out the plan's can versus cannot eat scenarios. The nutritionists at SOTA were helpful and encouraged us throughout. Met my goal in just 16 weeks. Good job, Gene. When I spoke to David Hochberg's SOTA nutritionist, it was a woman named Trish, she explained that SOTA's #1 priority is that you keep the weight off. That's the real measure of success. It's about learning, she said, healthy, sustainable nutrition. It's 100% over the phone, too. It's very convenient. Visit SOTAweightloss.com. SOTA is, say it with me, state of the art.
This episode of Home Sweet Home Chicago is sponsored by David Hochberg and Builders Supply Outlet, Access, and attorney Stephen A. Leahy from OPEM Tax Resolution. For additional sponsors of the Home Sweet Home program, please visit WGNradio.com/Home Sweet Home Chicago. Now, here's David Hochberg and Home Sweet Home Chicago.
312-981-7200 is the Mega Pros call, text, and photo line. We're going to throw it back over to the Mr. Ray of Sunshine, Stephen A. Leahy. 87,888 new agents being hired on. Not all of them are going to be in the field doing audits and all that. Some of them hopefully will be answering the phones that nobody could get through.
Very few of those.
Well, they should allocate a lot more, I think, because you try to get you pick up the phone and call 800 IRS, whatever the number is. You're going to sit on hold for 30 minutes, which is ridiculous. If you're lucky, you're going to sit on.
It ain't 30 minutes. It's a lot longer than that. And then when you're on hold, when
you got to hear some horrible music,
all of a sudden you get disconnected.
Yeah.
Even in the priority, the priority lines that the tax professionals get to use, they still do the same thing.
They hang up on you.
Yeah. I also use that service. You may have read about it. That lets you cut in line. You pay so they're online.
What's it, like a fast pass at Disney?
Somebody's on. Somebody already have a place in line for you, and then you can jump in front of them, in front of line. You take their spot in line for it's a fee. You pay for it.
It's nice. And then they hang up on you.
And then they still hang up on you. It's true.
So I'm going to tell you what you had made a comment about how not filing real estate taxes, not filing income taxes will block you, which it will. But I'll tell you of a guy who self-employed individual. Listen to the show. He owns a $2.5 million home out of state. Won't say the state in case he's listening. He owed the IRS $500,000. Okay. And he wanted to take out more money. Appraisal came in. I looked at the property. I'm like, there's no shot in this state that anything's going to be over $2 million. Came in, $2.5 million appraisal. I'm like, okay, I stand corrected. Self-employed. We had a bank statement program. We got 12 months worth of his bank statements. Took the deposits. He was depositing $60,000 a month into his business. That gave us $60,000 worth of income with this investor that we were sending the loan to. We pulled out over $1 million. We got a $1.2 million loan for the guy. Paid off the IRS as part of the transaction, and then he pulled out another $250,000. I never thought it would go through. I was amazed, and the guy's doing backflips. He's a bigger guy like you, a little wider around the waist, so it's pretty impressive that he was doing backflips. You can't even tie your shoes. That's a whole nother story. But dive a little deeper how tax challenges will put a block on our listeners who aren't as fortunate as that guy to buy a home?
Well, I hear this a lot that people get a tax lien saying, I have a tax lien, I can't sell my house. Yeah, you can. You can sell your house.
You can sell your
but
house.
you have to give the money to the IRS to pay off the lien. And so I have a guy now who's trying to sell a couple of homes. He's got some big tax liens. And again, he thought he couldn't sell it. But you can sell the house, but you have to work with the IRS to make that work. And they're going to take the profit.
You're not going to walk away with anything if you owe the IRS. Now here, here's a question. A listener owes the IRS $50,000. Listener sells their home after real estate commissions and tax prorations and title fees. They walk away with $39,000. Okay, IRS has got a lien on the house for $50,000. Whoop, there goes the $39,000.
Exactly.
Okay, now what happens with the other $11,000?
You still owe it?
I know you owe it there, Zippy. I mean, here's the question. Is
that something new?
Well, that's a technical term here.
I thought that was an endearing term.
Yeah.
Zippy. It's kind of like fluffy.
There's an Urban Dictionary. Look up Zippy. I can't explain it on the air. Else we'll get turned off and Dean Richards will walk in here. He's warming up for tomorrow. So the point I'm trying to make is, what happens with the $11,000? Will the IRS, obviously you still owe the IRS $11,000. If there's a payment plan, will they keep up the payment plan? Yeah. Will the payment plan get recalibrated? How does all that work?
If you're already on a payment plan, then they'll keep the payment plan. And so you've already. It depends what kind of payment plan you're on.
Say that 10 times quick. Depends upon the payment.
Well, you knew I was going to say it depends.
No, I know it depends.
But it does matter.
Will they garnish your wages?
Not if you're in a payment plan.
Okay.
And that's the whole thing, right? That's why you want to get into some agreement with them so they stop the collection efforts. A lot of people, what will happen is they'll start taking money from your work, right? So they're garnishing your wages and you'll think, I'll pay them that way.
Yeah, this is great.
And then you go to your bank and then they've taken the money out of your bank. Yeah. And you say, wait a minute, you're already taking money out of my... Well, of course we are.
You've got to work out some type of an agreement, an arrangement with the IRS.
Exactly.
What percentage of our listeners do it themselves and then do it themselves successfully?
Well, I think a lot of people can do it themselves, especially if you owe less than $25,000. When you start owing a lot of money, that's where, or if you have a lot of assets, you think that would be easier, but it really isn't, because the IRS wants you to sell everything, and pay them. And so it gets harder. And if you have a very large mortgage, for instance,
yes,
they don't agree to that you should be able to pay your mortgage before you pay them.
Really?
Yes. And so you have to. That's where it gets kind of tricky. And that's when
professionals.
That's when you need help.
All right. Phone number and website.
312-664-6649. Visit us on the web at WGNTaxman.com.
Frank Wazalewski. I
knew it was going to happen sometime.
Frank from Access will be coming up after the break, talking about mobility challenges, talking about the different products and services that he offers. Also, you're also working with Miracle Method, working with them and on jobs where you go into where you don't offer that product, which is good. It's good that the show synergy.
No, but yeah, David and Miracle Method have a nice niche that really help out our clients.
It's amazing. All right, we're going to talk about more after the break. 312-981-7200, the Mega Pros call, text and photo line. Tom Janke, Stephen Leahy and I are sticking here. Frank, we're not going to leave Frank alone on this beautiful Saturday. Everybody's outside. And I got Dave sent us a text, Zippy. I guess he liked that word. 312-981-7200, 312-981-7200. Mega Pros call, text, and photo line. This is Home Sweet Home Chicago, 720 WGN.
WGN. We're in our mid-80s, and my daughters wanted us to move. We did not want to, so we had them turn a walk-in closet in our bedroom into a bathroom, and we also have a new washer-dryer upstairs that they put in the bedroom, and all new flooring, and so they did a wonderful job.
We are talking today with mega customer Cheryl Triefenbach of Crystal Lake.
We had talked about doing this several years ago, and I called several people, and nobody ever called me back, although Mega did come once. I said, let's give them a call again and see what they say. And since our daughters were so insistent that we move when we don't want to, we thought this would be the best option. And we had to change it a couple times when we decided to put in the washer-dryer. They did a lovely bathroom with a nice walk-in shower. I mean, it's lovely.
One mega call does it all.
847-658-8989. 847-658-8989.
Megapros.com.
One mega call does it all.
To most, it's just another sidewalk or parking lot. But to Robert R. Andreas & Sons, it's a work of art, perfectly paved with attention to detail. Andreas & Sons, a family-owned Chicagoland business with the experience to handle any job. Patios, stairs, foundations, driveways, loading docks, warehouse floors. Andreas & Sons does it all. Commercial, industrial, or residential. If your project requires concrete or asphalt, then you need to contact the experts, Andreas & Sons. For a free estimate, call 708-863-5735. That's 708-863-5735. Or just visit AndreasConstruction.com. Robert R. Andreas & Sons, general contractors specializing in high-quality professional concrete and asphalt solutions since 1956. Call 708-863-5735. That's 708-863-5735. Or visit AndreasConstruction.com.
Your basement is flooded and your house is a mess. Your family's so disgusted. It's time to come to bed. Call the Fair Plumber if you need a helping hand. Call the Fair Plumber. He serves all Chicagoland. Yeah. FairPlumber.com.
You've heard us say how Ray Kaplan has saved WGN radio listeners millions of dollars in student loan debt. Now hear it from one of Ray's actual clients.
When I got my initial loan, at the end of the loan it said, according to us, you won't be able to pay back the loan. Would you like another profession? Ray Kaplan's law firm was able to come in and help me resolve the student debt, which has given me a whole different life as a social worker.
Call Kaplan Law 312-294-8989 or visit financialrelief.com. Kaplan Law is located at 25 East Washington in Chicago.
Tonight, the action's at Soldier Field as the Fire host Inter Miami FC. The Chicago Fire play on WGN TV. Tonight at 7. Home Sweet Home Chicago.
News team, assemble!
Ron Brown, just want you to know, I do like David Jennings. I have feelings for you as well.
That's great because David Jennings is a great guy. I admire him very much. And to be in that company is quite a compliment.
I can't do this without my news team.
And that guy, Kevin, he still has got a little thing to go.
He's a great guy. I love that guy. He's fantastic to work with.
He's all right.
Now, here's David Hochberg and Home Sweet Home Chicago.
That's good that Kevin Wells is working today. He was able to hear us take a little shot at him when he wasn't here. So there you go, Kevin.
He's all right.
He's all right. You got to mention. So there. Stay in your lane. 312-981-7200. Frank Wasilewski. Okay, I asked Tommy about his supply chain, about his demand, about his traffic through his doors. You have a different market. People are getting older every single day. People are having mobility challenges every single day. It's a different type of business. Tom's business, when money's flowing easy, a lot of people are doing work on their homes. Houses are being bought and sold a lot more regularly. Things have slowed down a lot in my industry. Money's not coming out of the homes as rapidly as it did at this time last year, all the way up until Christmas or January of last year. What are you seeing?
From our standpoint, our business is actually up.
Okay, great.
So we have not. So year over year, we're up a little over 40%.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll take full credit for that, Tom.
Actually, you can't. This is actually, believe it or not, this is actually my 1 year anniversary with, with David Hochberg.
Wow.
Did you get him a cake or anything?
No.
He's gonna sing to you on the next break.
But I got him a 40% increase in business. Yeah. I think that's you could buy a lot of cake for that. I think you would have stopped off someplace and got some donuts or something. But maybe next time. Or maybe order a pizza or something, but that's a whole nother story. But you're up 40%.
Yeah, and honestly, I believe a lot of that. I give a lot of credit to WGN on this because you guys have all helped bring awareness. To the fact that there are things that can be done. Some expensive, but a lot of it very inexpensively to assist somebody to stay in their home.
But and I don't mean to be flippant here, okay? But there is a cost of quality of life that you can't put a price tag on being able to get in and out of your home with dignity, okay? Get up and down the stairs without assistance, okay? I saw it with my mom. I know what I speak of, okay? Because she had trouble getting in and out of our home. We had to put the ramp in. She had trouble getting, it was impossible to make the doors bigger, but we put those hinges on that enable the doors open flat,
swing
clear doors. So I get it, and there was no cost that we want to spend, any type of money we want to spend to make my mother more comfortable within the house until we had to sell it because it just got to a point where you just couldn't do anything, right? She couldn't, stay in the house anymore. But I'm glad that the awareness that we're bringing and more importantly, the help, the awareness is one thing, but the solving of the challenges and overcoming the challenges, there's nothing worse than having to convert your living room into a bedroom because the person who is, that's mobility challenged can't get up the stairs. It's just, I experienced it. I know it firsthand.
Yeah, it's tough. And, to your point, I mean, there's a lot of dignity, to being able to stay in your home. So little changes that you can make to, if the earlier you start, the better.
Sure.
The sooner you can widen doors or make a bathroom safer.
I'll go one step further. The sooner you realize that you're not Superman or Superwoman and you need that little extra help, the easier it will be to live in that house.
Absolutely. I mean, my wife and I, we redid our house. It's about 6 years ago. And, we were in our mid 40s when we did this.
Yeah.
Made it fully accessible. So we don't ever have to worry about it going forward,
Plus you knew a guy.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I kind of knew a guy. But, it just being aware of the fact that anything can happen to you at any time.
Yep.
Anything can happen to one of your loved ones. So, just having a little bit of forward thinking. So as you start to age, just making little changes, then it doesn't become one big expense at one time when something does happen. So when you're planning a renovation, just plan for the future.
Let's talk about the vet giveaway and the vet for Veterans Day that we're doing. And let's not forget about all our brothers and sisters who lost their lives on 9/11. 9/11 anniversary is tomorrow. And I know we kind of have a short memory in this country, but that was a major shot. We lost a lot of our brothers and sisters on that day. I'll never forget where I was, East Bank Club, getting out. And I said, where's my Uncle Jeff? Because my Uncle Jeff worked in the towers. And I remember calling my mom, like, where the hell's Uncle Jeff? Okay, so let's not forget about our brothers and sisters that lost all their lives, all the firefighters and first responders, cops, EMTs, everybody that lost their lives there. But we love our veterans. And as long as we're talking veterans, we have an unbelievable opportunity that you're presenting to our listeners. So fire away.
Yeah, so we're giving away a stair lift to a veteran. You can go to liftingahero.com and you can nominate a neighbor, a relative, a friend. Because honestly, most veterans don't nominate themselves. They want the next veteran to go get it.
Right.
So you got to kind of give them a push. But if you know of somebody who's got some mobility challenges or could just use assistance, even on bad days, to go up the stairs, we are giving away a free stair lift to them. And there's absolutely no charge. It's not a gimmick. There's no, you
did it last year.
Yeah, absolutely. We've actually been doing it for over a decade. It's just something we've always done for veterans.
And we had to go through 2 or 3 different veterans, Steve, because the individuals that won, like, there's another guy who's worse than me, and give it to
somebody else deserves it. Somebody else.
That's always the case.
Yeah, somebody else needs it more than I do. It is. It's something. You love the veterans for that too.
Where do they go where do our listeners go to register for this amazing opportunity?
So you go to liftingahero.com and you can just, filling out your name, city, phone number, email, best way to contact you. It's not a gimmick. We're not going to be sending you ads and sponsors. It's strictly just for for the giveaway. And if your name is pulled, we'll just, we need a way of contacting you to let you know what's going on.
When is the cutoff and when is the veteran selected, the winner selected?
So we have this, we are going to be cutting it off and drawing the name by November 5th.
Okay.
And then when I'm on your show, the 12th, and we'll be announcing the winner on the 12th.
Okay. There you go. Steve.
They should have a name handy so who they want to give it to when they win.
What did he just say? Well, I don't understand what that means. What?
Oh, yeah. No.
The guy who wins always wants to give it to somebody else.
Yeah. That's what happened last year. We went to announce, then I had to come on special at a show a couple times because it took a couple of weeks to get one of the veterans to get it.
Yeah, the person that won it, I think it took him a day or two to reach the person that won it. And then the person give it to somebody else who needs it more than me. And then they had to run down we had to pick another winner. Give it to somebody else. So we had to delay it a little bit. So I think we built in a little redundancy of what we learned last year.
Yeah, and we're ready to go.
You're ready to go. 312-981-7200. Quickly explain your working partnership. It's not a formal partnership with with Miracle Method on what you do and what they do.
So what David does at Miracle and his team at Miracle Method, what they do is they do tub cutouts.
Yep.
Where you can basically leave your tub in place and you can turn it into a
walkthrough.
Well, it's not a low rise walkthrough, but it's a step in shower, right? So you don't have to step in over the full height of a tub, which can be up to 19 inches tall. They get it down to the 5-6 inch range, right? So when you start first having mobility issues, that's the biggest problem is getting into the tub. That's where we see the most accidents. So what David does and how well they do it works really good with what a lot of our clients need in the early stages, before they need a full roll-in shower or a little 2-inch curb, because they can't pick their feet up anymore. So as you start seeing, loved ones get to that point, going with Miracle Method or coming through Access, because we work with them, and we have a lot of access to funding for the client. So we're trying to partner up and get this out to more people.
Got to hit a break. So give out your phone number and your website. We'll pick it up on the other side with some other topics I'd like to cover as well regarding the financing of these projects and the money available. And if insurance covers it, we'll dive a little deeper into that. I know that you've got a whole team, a lady who just looks for money to help our listeners fund these programs. So what's the best way for our listeners to reach you going into break?
Reach us on our website at allaboutaccess.com or 630-616-6249.
All right. This is Home Sweet Home Chicago on 720 WGN. Mega Pros call, text, and photo line are open, 312-981-7200. We're going to send it over to that guy who's all right, Kevin Wells, in the newsroom, and we'll be back on the other side.
When news breaks in Chicago or the world, you'll hear it here, and we'll talk about it here. This is Chicago's very own 720 WGN, or download the WGN radio app and stream us live.
WGN Radio News is on the air. Good afternoon. I'm Kevin Wells at 4:30. The news is sponsored by Ishnala Supper Club. Another Illinois man facing years in federal prison for taking part in the Capitol riots. WGN Sports first. The Cubs fall to the Giants at Wrigley 5-2 this afternoon. Marcus Stroman struggled today, 4 earned runs in 4 innings. White Sox, however, they lead 4-0 over the Athletics. Elvis Andrus stays hot with a 3-run bomb against his former team. To the gridiron, Northwestern falls to Duke 31-23 in their home opener at Ryan Field. Other scores today: Virginia they are trailing Illinois, I should say, 21-3. That one is approaching halftime. Washington State and Wisconsin 14-7. Badgers right now. Indiana and Idaho. Indiana leads that one. Iowa State and Iowa, that is 7-3 in favor of the Hawkeyes. And Marshall has the lead over Notre Dame in South Bend, approaching halftime 19-15. Northern Illinois gets going against Tulsa at 6 o'clock tonight. WGN traffic now 30 minutes inbound on the Kennedy, or on the Edens, I should say, an hour inbound on the Kennedy. Very heavy across the board, all the way from O'Hare into downtown. Outside is looking at it's about a 45-minute ride. Solid traffic between Addison and the Edens Junction, and the junction all the way to O'Hare. Eisenhower's an hour inbound. The outbound side is 45 minutes. Stevenson is 35 on the inbound side, 25 minutes on the outbound side. Dan Ryan looks good. No delays in either direction right now. Things running smoothly on the Bishop Ford as well. DuSable Lakeshore Drive is 25 minutes Hollywood to Monroe. Looking at 294, 2 left lanes blocked right before the Grand Avenue curve. Solid traffic all the way back to the Eisenhower Expressway there due to a disabled vehicle. A Central Illinois man pleaded guilty Friday to felony charges for assaulting a law enforcement officer and a member of the news media during the January 6 riots. 44-year-old Shane Jason Wood of Auburn, Illinois, was among people on Capitol grounds illegally, joining a mob in the Lower West Terrace area. Someone in the crowd sprayed a police officer with a chemical irritant and then fled. And when a police officer pursued that person, Woods lowered his shoulder, rammed into her, knocking her off her feet and sending her crashing into downed bicycle barricades. He's facing a maximum sentence of 9 years in federal prison, along with fines. Oak Park native Heather Mack will stand trial in the United States next summer in connection with her mother's murder in Indonesia. Mack served 7 years in a Bali prison after she and her boyfriend Tommy Schaefer were convicted of killing Sheila Von Weiss Mack in 2014 at a resort. Von Weiss Mack's body was found stuffed in a suitcase. Mack returned to Chicago last October after serving her sentence, and when she arrived, she was indicted on conspiracy and obstruction justice charges. Mack is currently in a Metropolitan Correctional Center. She will stand trial July 31st. And now the forecast from the WGN Chicago Weather Center. Highs in the middle 80s today. We've hit those highs tonight. Going to see lows in the mid-60s inland and around downtown. It'll be around the same. Sunday, we're going to see some showers and thunderstorms throughout the day. Highs will reach lows in mid-70s in the inland areas, and then it will fall into the mid-60s in the afternoon. That's going to be pretty low for this time of the year. For Monday, to kick off your work week, it's going to feel like fall. Temperatures will only be in the mid-60s. It's about 15 degrees below normal. Right now, 84 at O'Hare, 86 at Midway, 76 along the lake. Celebrating our 100th year of serving Chicago. I'm Kevin Wells on Chicago's very own 720 WGN.
Despite whatever you may have heard about the real estate market lately, if you're interested in buying or selling a home or need to sell, don't worry that you've missed the boat. In my mind, it's always a great time to buy the right property at the right price. I'm Lisa Dent. I'll tell you what, I'm a big fan of Amy Kite. I've known her for years. It's Amy Kite with Keller Williams Realty Infinity. Amy knows there's lots of reasons people decide to move, one of which is people are uncoupling and moving apart and needing to find one or two new homes and sell their current home. In cases like this, Amy becomes more like a real estate planner, taking into consideration the needs of both parties and helping them move as seamlessly as possible into the next phases of their lives. Listen, Amy says properties are still moving and everyone needs a roof over their head. Don't let the fear of a fluctuating market stop you from living your best life. Call Amy Kite and she will sell your home. Go to amywillsellyourhome.com. That's amywillsellyourhome.com.
That's the sound of the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program, saving you money and energy. With rebates on Energy Star appliances, so you can come back to a home full of savings. Discover more ways to save at ComEd.com/home savings. ComEd. Powering lives.
So the kids are back at school, the pool parties are over, and the last big barbecue is done. Time to give your deck a rest, right? Wrong. Now is the perfect time for a Deck Tech visit. Deck Tech cleans, seals, and protects your deck, restoring it to its natural beauty. Deck Tech has been helping Chicagoans enjoy the outdoors for over 25 years. So get the deck ready for one last run this year. For a free estimate, call 800-956-DECK, 800-956-DECK, or visit restoreyourdeck.com.
1-800-956-DECK. Call Deck Tech.
Welcome back to Ask Hassleus.
What if I want a box spring?
Through Monday, get a free box spring with your new Beauty Rest or Sealy Posturepedic mattress.
What if I don't want a box spring?
Then take the equal value off an adjustable base.
What if I don't want to spend a lot?
Our 35 beds from the top 5 brands start at $393.
What if I forgot my first question?
Get a free box spring now through Monday at Hassleus Mattress. Find an employee-free Chicagoland showroom at hassleus.com.
Bears fans, tune into Marquee Sports Network on Wednesdays for Bear Essentials, presented by Bet Rivers, featuring in-depth breakdowns and exclusive interviews with Bears personnel, only on Marquee Sports Network. Visit marqueesportsnetwork.com/Bears for the full schedule.
Hamp and OB are back.
Can't you see? Last year, the year before.
Pre and post.
That is our problem.
Do it correctly or not at all. Hamp and OB get you ready for Bears football tomorrow morning at 11 on WGN. Now back to Home Sweet Home Chicago.
312-981-7200 Megapros call, text, and photo line. We're going to throw back to Mr. Frank Wazalewski.
Thanks for getting that right.
You're welcome. Back off. I know I don't mess up names. And by the way, Hamp and OB after Bears games, just a lot of names and directions and a lot of other things. Hamp and OB after a Bears loss, best radio next to this show, obviously, on the radio. Okay, I'm surprised one of them hasn't coded out during a Bears loss. They get so worked up. It's unbelievable. They have full medical equipment in the studio for that show. It is the best post game ever. So if you're after hopefully they win, but in the event that they don't, that's the show you want to listen to right here. 312-981-7200 Megapros call, text, and photo line for all of your contact, all of your questions. If you don't feel comfortable calling in, let's talk about the financing options and the team that you have set up, because some of these projects might go into the thousands of dollars, right? I mean, what's a lift? $4,000 to $10,000? I don't even know.
Actually, like the average cost of a stair lift across the board ends up being about $5,000 to $6,000.
Okay, so $5,000 to $6,000. So when you put in a stair lift, is that the only thing that you're doing in the house? Or are you typically doing something in the bathrooms to make the bathrooms more accessible, or the garage or the front door to get them in? The mobility challenge patient, and what's the typical ticket on a house if you're doing a stair lift?
Honestly, it's with majority of our clients, we're going to do one thing this year. Okay, we're going to do another thing next year. You know, building blocks. We need building blocks. We need to spread out the cost. Over time. But so we do. Kristen Falco is our social worker on staff, and she has been working with the state agencies and state funding sources and with people with disabilities for over 25 years now. So she really knows the in and outs of how the funding works around here, both on the federal level and the state level.
Is there any money for mobility challenges? There seems to be money in the Inflation Reduction Act for everything else. And was that the solar panels? Was that in the inflation? Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So there's money in there for solar panels. There is no money in there for people with disabilities.
I listened to the show last week. I don't know if you know this, Dave, but I do listen to the show when I'm not
sure.
here. So.
You're the only one. That's fine. Appreciate it.
But you guys talked a lot about the Inflation Reduction Act, because that's one of the main things is that they're looking to for the solar stuff. I was a little surprised of how little money they were giving to individuals.
Yeah.
It wasn't
a $500 tax credit. It was great. You're going to put in an expensive system, but the state is giving you back 50%, which is pretty substantial.
Yeah, I agree.
So Kristen, is this?
Kristen Falco.
And she's been with you for how long?
She's been with me at Access now for 12 years. So going on 12 years.
Does insurance cover any of this at all or no? So if you're in a horrific car accident, right? I'm just going to give you a scenario. You were involved in a car accident, right? You either whatever. Okay, you got into a horrific car accident. You come out and you're mobility challenged, whatever thing, right? You're paralyzed, semi-paralyzed, whatever the thing, whatever the disability is, but it was caused by an accident. Will an insurance company do some home modifications, or are you still on your own?
No. So in the situation that you're talking about, say it's a car accident or a medical malpractice or something along those lines that cause you to be disabled very quickly, the insurance companies will set up a trust for your long-term care. And then part of that trust is to modify your home or get you a home, with the lifts and the ramps, the nursing care, everything else that you need to have care, for the remainder of your life.
Who sets up the trust?
That's always set up by by your lawyer.
So David Schluter or somebody like that would set up a trust.
Right. So you're going to get a trust lawyer at that point to set up a trust to make sure that, because a lot of times, unfortunately, when you have a disability that happens that rapidly, a lot of times you lose your brain function.
Sure.
And not every family member is really looking out for your best interest before theirs. So it's the job of the trust to make sure that the money that is awarded from the accident to be set up in such a fashion that it's only for your care, and none of your family members can go in there and buy themselves
start
a new
taking
Corvette.
trips. Right? Yeah, as if that never happens. Right. It happens all the time. So
we do. We work a lot with trusts. Same with workman's comp. Workman's comp works the same way.
Okay, I did not know that.
Yeah.
And then the trustee of the trust, whoever that individual is, can use that money. So the insurance company,
right? So if we have a person that was in a car accident, and let's just say they need a ramp put up in front of the house, so we go out there, we give them an estimate, it's $3,500 or whatever for the ramp. Now that has to go up in front of a judge for approval.
Come on,
and the judge will say yes, okay, this is a need for this individual, and yes, it's approved. We'll release the money, and then it goes into an escrow. And then once we're done, we have to prove to the court that it's done, and then the money's released to us. So we have to front the money on something like that.
How long does that take?
It takes time.
Actually, it goes. It does take time. Emotion. I mean, it's not like if you called me up and say, "Hey, Frank, I want a ramp," I can get it done in a week for you.
Right.
This is going to be like a 60 to 90 day process.
Yeah, because you have to bring a motion, and the judge has to approve it, and then you have to bring another motion when it's finished, and go in front of the judge.
Right. And you dropped the ball.
You have to give enough.
You dropped the ball. You had the chance to say it depends. You dropped the ball. I gave you a 3-2 fastball.
I'll have to remember.
But you did do a fantastic job of waving that hand around and expressing yourself.
I try not to use that legal term too much.
Right.
Defense.
Because Steve never talks with his hands, according to Steve.
Right.
312-981-7200, 312-981-7200. Go to WGNDavid.com for all of our contact information. What about grants and items like that for our listeners who have MS or have some type of, like my mother had MS or something, like have cancer or some type of disease that is debilitating and screws with their mobility? Is there some type of funds set aside for that, or is it every man and woman for themselves?
No, so the state of Illinois is actually very, very good about this. They have funds set aside for people with disabilities, and there's also numerous foundations that are out there and numerous grants that are out there that if you have a disability that you can apply for to get the money. And now, obviously, that takes time, so you got to be patient in that regard. But you can actually go on our website, and we actually have a funding brochure that you can download, and it has all of the information of the majority of these that you can go and apply for.
And what better gift than for the holidays than a gift of mobility? I mean, we talked about it last year when you were on the show, and it's so true. I don't need this. Listen, my grandfather passed away. We had a 65th or 70th birthday party for him. When he passed away, we went into his house, his apartment, cleaned it out. All the gifts were under his bed. Tell you what, he didn't need a lift, but instead of buying a sweater that he's never going to wear or a pair of socks or whatever you're going to buy him or her, grandmother, aunt, uncle, a gift of mobility and freedom within your home and safety within your home is priceless, and it's a gift that keeps giving every single day. I know it's a corny cliche that's a gift that keeps on giving, but it is being able to get in and out of your bed without somebody coming to help you out is a major accomplishment for somebody that needs the assistance and the dignity and everything else. Our listeners want to reach out to you. What's the best way to reach out to you?
Allaboutaccess.com or 630-616-6249.
Got a text here, Tom, that somebody thought, your segment was real interesting regarding the supply chain. So let's dig a little deeper into that coming out, because I think what our listeners don't realize is when we say that a container, which we all know what a container is, right? It's those metal boxes. Shipping container went from 5,000 or 3 to 5,000 to 30,000, 25 to 30,000 in some cases. How that impacts your business and how you have to pivot and what that does to the price of whatever's inside that container. Let's dive a little deeper after that, because our good friend Greg said, hey, real interesting segment with Janky today about the supply chain and the pricing in regards to his business. So let's talk about a little more, dive a little deeper, how it does impact the consumer, because
a direct impact.
Let's dive deeper. 312-981-7200 Mega Pros. Call, text, and photo line. We got about 2-3 minute, or as we like to say, Steve, 2-3 minute break, and then we'll be back after these messages. This is Home Sweet Home Chicago and 720 WGN.
BMO Harris is a proud sponsor of the Home Sweet Home Chicago radio program. If you, like many other homeowners right now, are considering a home renovation project, contact BMO Harris Bank to learn more about how they can help you finance your projects. For more information, visit them at bmoharris.com/homesweethome. That's bmoharris.com/homesweethome. Or just click their link on the WGN Home Sweet Home Chicago program page.
This is Rich Dykstra from Dykstra Home Services. At the end of last winter, was your furnace dead or dying? Guess what? It's still broken. Call Dykstra Home Services for a free estimate on a new high-efficiency carrier system today. We have financing or leasing options available on all systems. Don't delay. Call today for a free in-home estimate, 800-421-3220 or WGNHeatingGuy.com. Carrier, turn to the experts, and the experts at Dykstra Home Services, the only Hall of Fame dealer in Illinois.
If you listen to cable news, they seem to forget most of America.
To them, we're just flyover country.
News Nation is news for all America.
Not just the big cities,
but communities all across the country.
Come back to the stories no one else tells you.
Come back to the places no other network takes you to. Come back to the news.
News Nation is news for all America.
Find News Nation on Xfinity Channel 223, DirecTV Channel 307, and Dish Channel 239.
With everyone in a rush to renovate these days and supply chains moving at
Well, a snail's pace. What's a person to do? Hey, I know. Why don't you head over to Builder's Supply Outlet? If you're like me, impatient, why wait when you can build a better bathroom today? Start your mornings in your own private sanctuary. Get ready at a sleek new vanity with a lighted makeup mirror. You don't have to pay a fortune to have high-end touches. As the largest vanity retailer in Chicagoland, Builder Supply Outlet has over 300 vanities in stock with the greatest assortment of colors, sizes, and wood finishes. They also have gorgeous quartz and granite tops made in the USA that arrive every other week, so there's always a fresh selection. Find the materials you need and the installation services at Builder's Supply Outlet. Oh, where is it, you ask? I'll tell ya. Just 5 miles east of the Oakbrook Shopping Mall on Cermak Road at 25th Avenue in Broadview. Or check them out at buildersupplyoutlet.com. Build your better bathroom today.
Stop worrying about mom and dad safely getting in and out of their bathtub with Miracle Method. Miracle Method will convert your current bathtub into a walk-in shower by removing a section of your bathtub and installing an Easy Step. I've seen it in the showroom, and it's a game changer for the mobility impaired. The Easy Step is thousands of dollars less expensive than walk-in tubs and only takes 1 day to install. To learn more about Easy Step, call 630-832-2250. That's 630-832-2250. Or visit miraclemethod.com/Chicago.
Home Sweet Home Chicago.
Bob and Wooddale. Hey, Bobby.
Hey, how you doing? Great show. You know, I listened to Tom over there at Builders Supply, and just last year they did our whole kitchen for us. What a great job they did. They had such a nice deal, and they were so nice that why would you want to go anywhere else?
Tell you what, Bob from Wooddale is giving Lindsay a run for her money.
I met Tom personally. He happened to be walking through there. What a personable guy. I mean, great guy.
Was it a highlight of your day or a disappointment, Bob?
Well, I don't know. I'm still trying to recover from that. You know?
Now, here's David Hochberg and Home Sweet Home Chicago.
312-981-7200. We have great listeners.
Wow.
We really do. They're awesome. 312-981-7200 because they get what we're trying to do here. Just have fun.
Most of them.
Most of them. You know, and no, but when they call in and they pick up a cue like that, like, you know, was it a good experience? I'm still trying to figure it out. That's good. 312-981-7200. 312-981-7200. A shipping container that you're bringing in material from overseas.
Yes.
Goes into a shipping container.
Yep.
How many units? Let's take what comes from overseas. Give me something. The mirrors?
Mirrors come overseas. Vanities. Now, your yield on vanities, because either you can get a knockdown vanity, but when you do the furniture vanities, they're already pre-assembled. They have a top on it. So
take a lot more room.
Your yield for knockdown vanities, we can get about 450 in a container.
In a box, in a container.
In a 40-foot, what they call a high cube.
Okay.
If you're going to put in, you know, pre-assembled more of the furniture style vanities, you're going to get about 80.
Whoa!
Oh, yeah. So when you think about that,
wow,
yeah, because you got a 60-inch vanity, you know, that's a big vanity. Or
and if you're
72
paying
inch.
$30,000 for that cube and you're splitting that down 8, I mean, that's a lot of money to add on to the cost of a vanity.
You cannot absorb. You can't go from 5,500 and then go to 30,000. And on top of that, now you also have some of the tariffs that were put into place. You know, we have tariffs on doors. We have.
And it's got to get off the ship, and it's got to get on a truck, and you're paying the high fuel costs and the.
So we used to these containers would come into Long Beach, and from Long Beach, California to Chicago, it was about $1,800 for the freight. It's now $9,000.
What?
Oh yeah, it's absolutely crazy out there. So there's no way that any of us. And I see it at the big boxes because I'm in the big boxes a couple times a week, just checking to see what's happening with prices. Their prices, like interior doors. I mean, they've. I'm not going to say they've doubled, but darn close to that in the past 6 years. They've doubled the cost.
Yeah.
I mean, or doubled the sales price, and there's just no way as any retailer or the big boxes can absorb all of these increases.
You can't.
know, we eat some of it, but you know we're also paying higher wages now.
Sure.
I mean, our utility costs, everything else have gone up. But
so your shipping costs on the collapsible vanities went from $10.50. I'm going to round up a unit to $62.50 per unit. It went up $52.
Oh yeah,
per unit. Per vanity.
Per vanity.
That's insane.
I mean, that's why you see
everything's more expensive.
Absolutely.
Was that just the container? But then you got to talk about bringing it from California here,
or
you
we
gotta add all that
ship in
together.
from Juarez, Mexico. We have some products that are made in Mexico. Your shipping cost from Juarez, Mexico to here. I mean, again, used to be $1,500. We're now getting $4,500.
Wow.
We're shipping kitchens right now from Ohio down to a big project we're doing in Alabama, and it used to be a $1,400 freight bill down to Alabama.
$5,400.
It's probably in the $4,500.
Whoa.
Yeah,
So,
it's no different for me. Shipping an
Yeah.
elevator out of Canada used to, 2 years ago cost me $400. Now it's costing me $2,200.
Whoa. Right.
And
all these numbers. I mean, it's just people come in, and, it's very unfortunate, but it's very historical for us where people would come in and they would get a price on a kitchen. Sometimes they wouldn't come back for a year. All of a sudden, a year later, they're knocking on our door going, hey, I want to do this kitchen. Well, what happened was, back then you might have seen, my major cabinet line didn't have a price increase for 5 years. 5 years, no price increases. Now, all of a sudden, they came a year ago, got a price. They came back now 33% higher.
Whoa.
33% higher.
Wow.
And they go, what happened? And I said, do you ever watch that thing? It used to be black and white in your house. It's now color. It's called a TV.
Used to be
Watch
a piece
it.
of furniture. Now it's hanging on the wall.
Now it's hanging on a wall. Exactly. It used to be a console model. Now you'd slap it on a wall and move it in 82 different directions. But yeah, you just listen to what's out there.
Is the trucking have to do with the shortage of truckers? 1, 2, the price of fuel, because obviously they put the surcharge, right? I was in the scrap business. We put the surcharge on. Hey, forced emerge, right? It is what it is. It's an act of God. And, we can't haul this for $100 or $200 a load now. It's costing us 3 times the amount in fuel, right? Yeah. Fuel went from $2 to $6. Well, who do you think is going to pay for that? The trucking company and the trucker aren't going to swallow that cost. They have to pass it on. They're working on tight margins.
But you also have to. It's like the shipping containers too. I've got a buddy of mine that owns a trucking company. He says, I'm making more money than I've ever made in my entire life. And here's where the problem is. You've got 200 trucks that you need to move, but you've only got 100 drivers.
Yeah.
So it is, you want it moved? Before it was $2,000. You want it moved now to be $4,000. What are you going to say? No.
Right. You got to move it.
So, and it is somewhat shortage of drivers, but it's also, they're taking advantage of it.
Right. Because they can.
They're jacking people over.
It'll be short-lived.
This is free enterprise. And
that's what free enterprise does.
Right.
It goes up. Someone comes and say, hey, wait, you guys are making a lot of money. I'm coming in.
Absolutely.
Frank's opened up a trucking company. Frank Wazalewski. It's going to be Frank W. because you're not going to be able to pronounce his last name. And it's going to be Frank W. Trucking, Cartage. That's what we're going to do. And we're going to come in and undercut everybody and take everybody's business.
There's one of the big container people. I won't mention who it is.
What does it rhyme with?
No.
Okay. Quick, we got to.
I want to be careful.
Hold
of
that thought. Hold that. We got to break. I got to hit a break at the top of the hour because Ron Brown's in the newsroom. He kicked our youngin out and he's getting ready to go. So hold that thought. 312-981-7200. MegaPro's call, text, and photo line. This is Home Sweet Home Chicago on 720 WGN.
Jumping into this rapidly evolving real estate market, then you need a realtor who understands the market and, most importantly, understands you and your goals. I am Kari Kohler with the Kohler Group at Coldwell Banker, and my team and I have over 15 years of successful real estate experience centered in the areas west of 59. We know finding the right home for you and your family can be life-changing, and that's what we strive to do every day, change lives. We ask questions, really listen, dig deep to determine how you want your home to be different from your current home. We work closely with you to ensure we're addressing your top priorities. It's what makes us the realtor group that clients most trust and recommend. If you're seeking to buy or sell property in St. Charles, Geneva, Naperville, or surrounding areas, let the Kohler Group use our expertise to find the home you're looking for and change your life. Go to thekohlergroup.co.
Back in 1969, when Gary Lindemann was a firefighter on the North Shore. He started Lindemann Chimney Company out of concern for fireplace safety. Today, Lindemann Chimney and Fireplace is the leader in the chimney industry and remains a family business today. They'll handle anything related to your fireplace or chimney, from annual maintenance and cleanings to chimney tuck pointing and masonry, to gas logs and fireplace installation, to impressive fireplace remodels. Call the pros at Lindemann Chimney and Fireplace. Many people ask, how often should you have your fireplace cleaned and inspected? Well, according to the Chimney Safety Institute of America, the answer is every year. Regular maintenance ensures the proper, safe operation of your home's fireplace. So if you can't recall the last time you had your fireplace cleaned and inspected, go to lindemann.com, LINDEMANN.com. Book your chimney cleaning appointment instantly online. Do it now. Check it off your list. That's lindemann.com. Lindemann Chimney and Fireplace. Safe and sound since 1969.
I'm attorney Stephen Leahy. I help business professionals solve IRS problems forever. One of my clients, let's call him Mike, runs his own business and hadn't filed his tax returns in years. He didn't know what to do, so he did nothing. Not a good choice. Mike knows the IRS can take his bank account, his passport, and his house. What he didn't know is the IRS could contact his customers and collect the money he owes from them. We've prepared all Mike's returns, filed an appeal to slow the IRS down, and worked out a plan to pay the IRS based on his budget, not on how much he owed. We helped him with tax planning and his business structure to reduce future tax bills, and we keep him in compliance to keep the IRS away while he focuses on rebuilding his life. What's the first thing you should do if you have unfiled returns or if you owe the IRS money? Get a copy of my book. Deal with your IRS problems today. Go to freeirsbook.com. That's freeirsbook.com to get your copy, or call us at 312-664-6649. There's no time to waste. Fight back now.
Broadcast excellence for Chicago and the Midwest for 100 years. This is WGN at AM 720 and on smart devices worldwide. WGN Chicago, a Nexstar Media Group station.
WGN Radio News is on the air. Good evening, I'm Ron Brown. At 5 o'clock, the news is sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association Walk to End Alzheimer's. The sanctuary city of Chicago is growing again, one busload at a time. We'll have that story in just a moment. First, a look at WGN traffic. The Kennedy is solid in the outbound lanes between Pulaski and the Edens Junction, and the Kennedy Express lanes are heavy in the outbound lanes as well. The Dan Ryan is stop and go between the Chinatown feeder ramp and the Byrne interchange, and DuSable Lakeshore Drive is slow northbound between Roosevelt and Monroe. In the last 2 weeks, nearly 400 migrants have arrived in the Chicago area. Coach buses pulled into Union Station again yesterday, bringing dozens more from Texas. Illinois Senator Dick Durbin says he's appalled by what Texas Governor Greg Abbott is doing.
This is a test of who we are as Americans. This is a question of our self-definition, telling the world who we are.
And Durbin says Chicago promises to continue to be a sanctuary city. A shooting in the South Loop killed one man and injured another early this morning.
Police say they were shot standing on the sidewalk in the 100 block of West Cermak. A 30-year-old man died at the scene. A second man is hospitalized with gunshot wounds to the back and face. Police have no suspects in the fatal shooting Friday of a 17-year-old CPS student near the University of Chicago and Kenwood Academy. Dave Schwann, WGN News.
A Central Illinois man pleaded guilty Friday to felony charges for assaulting a law enforcement officer and a member of the news media during the January 6th riots in Washington, D.C. 44-year-old Shane Jason Wood of Auburn, Illinois, was among a lot of people on the Capitol grounds illegally, joining a mob in the Lower West Terrace area. Someone in the crowd sprayed a Capitol police officer with a chemical irritant and then ran away. And when the officer ran after that person, Woods lowered his shoulder and rammed into her, knocking her off her feet and sending her crashing into a downed bicycle barricade. He's now facing a maximum sentence of 9 years plus fines. Governor Pritzker and IDOT unveil a project aimed at improving access between I-55 and Illinois 59.
We're investing $93 million from our Rebuild Illinois capital plan to make several capacity, access, and safety improvements, all while building a new diverging diamond interchange with Illinois 59.
Other improvements include new entrance lanes. There will be pedestrian access across I-55 with the addition of sidewalks and a multi-use trail, plus retaining walls to reduce noise. The project is expected to be complete by early 2025. Another member of the city council will not be running for re-election. Alderwoman Susan Sadlowski Garza announced that she'll be retiring at the end of her term. WGN's Katie Porter reports.
She represents the 10th Ward, which consists of the far southeast side of the city. She was first elected in 2015 and has served as the chair of the Progressive Reform Caucus. She is the first ever active Chicago Teachers Union member to be elected to city council. She is working to keep schools public, increase wages, and create long-lasting economic development in the 10th Ward. In her announcement, she says it's time to step back and take care of her family. Katie Porter, WGN News.
A discovery at Tribune Tower is tied to a dark time in Chicago sports history. A baseball found in a time capsule could be worth more than $1 million. It's from the 1919 World Series between the Chicago White Sox and the Cincinnati Reds, which many consider the biggest scandal in sports history. 8 White Sox players are accused of accepting bribes to fix that World Series. Chicago Sports Museum founder Grant DePorter.
When the developers of the building said, it's a baseball, it's from 1920, I bet it's from the 1919 World Series, but he wasn't sure. This ball was used in Game 5 of the 1919 World Series. It set a World Series record that's never been broken. The ball struck out 6 White Sox batters in a row.
The baseball is headed to the Chicago Sports Museum, where it'll be displayed until the owners decide just what to do with it. Real bears are ready for some football. Grizzly bears at Brookfield Zoo sunk their claws into some gridiron-themed treats this week. They feasted on orange and blue ice and gelatin cakes filled with fruit. Sloth bears and even sea lions got in on the fun to celebrate the new Bears season, which begins tomorrow. And now WGN Sports and college football action. Northwestern fell to Duke today, 31-23. Games still in action. Illinois is leading Virginia 21-3 in the third quarter. Wisconsin is leading Washington State, rather. I'm sorry, Washington State just took the lead, is now 17-14. Washington State's leading the Wisconsin Badgers. The Purdue Boilermakers are leading Indiana State 35-0 in the third. Iowa Hawkeyes are leading Iowa State 7-3 in the third. 8th-ranked Notre Dame lost to Marshall 26-21 at South Bend. Games to be played tonight: Northern Illinois at Tulsa and Idaho at Indiana. In baseball, San Francisco beat the Cubs 5-2 at Wrigley. The Sox are ahead of the Oakland A's out on the West Coast 7-1 in the 5th inning. Chicago White Sox manager Tony La Russa has been cleared by his doctors to participate in Sunday's pregame ceremony in Oakland for retiring Dave Stewart's jersey with the Athletics. In soccer, Miami's taking on the Chicago Fire. That match begins at 7 p.m. The forecast from the WGN Chicago Weather Center, meteorologist Mike Jansen.
We are enjoying a very comfortable evening, but look for clouds to increase overnight tonight. And there is a chance for some widely scattered showers late as we get closer to daybreak. Temperatures falling into the mid-60s. Showers are then likely here on Sunday. On and off rain could be heavy at times, maybe a few thunderstorms. Breezy highs in the upper 60s. On Monday, mostly cloudy, still a chance for scattered showers. Highs only in the mid-60s. Then our clouds finally decrease on Tuesday with highs in the mid-70s. Mostly sunny Wednesday, highs in the mid to upper 70s. From the WGN Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Mike Chance.
It's currently 84 degrees, celebrating our 100th year serving Chicago. I'm Ron Brown on Chicago's very own 720 WGN.
Thanks, Ron Brown. This is David Hochberg, host of Home Sweet Home Chicago. Coming up after the break, Tom Jenke will express his favorite trucking company after these messages.
It's David Hochberg from my good friend Mike Long, Mike's Landscape Lighting. When we illuminated our home, we hired Mike and his team at Mike's Landscape Lighting. Mike's team did an amazing job, and you wouldn't believe all the compliments we get from all our friends and neighbors who have also hired Mike to illuminate their home. Mike enhanced the curb appeal and improved the security of our home. From accent, pathway, and patio lighting to outdoor event lighting, Mike's Landscape Lighting does it all. Check out all the photos of his work at WGNMike.com. That's WGNMike.com.
Hi, it's Mike and Dean from Lindholm Roofing, Chicagoland's most trusted roofing, siding, gutters, and tuck pointing company.
Lindholm Roofing is most trusted because of our stability. We're family owned since 1949. That's 73 years of hard work and doing things the right way.
You know, Mike, I think Lindholm Roofing's most trusted because of our consistent 8+ rating with the Better Business Bureau.
Okay, Dean, we're sure proud of that, but I think it's Lindholm Roofing's experienced sales reps and in-depth knowledge that makes us the most trusted. We'll never try to sell you something you don't need.
Yeah, that's true, Mike. And Lindholm Roofing takes on all roofing, siding, gutter, tuck pointing jobs. big or small. We do them all because every customer is important to us. That's why we're the most trusted.
Okay, Dean, maybe we can't agree on the why, but we can agree that Lindholm Roofing is Chicagoland's most trusted roofing, siding, gutters, and tuck pointing company.
For a free inspection, call 888-4-ROOFER or visit us at lindholmroofing.com.
Lindholm Roofing, our family has your family covered.
You may already know Mr. Floor for the beautiful wood floors that we install, sand, and refinish. Mr. Floor is a full-service local Chicagoland company who has provided homeowners and businesses with complete flooring solutions for over 30 years. Hi, I'm Igor Marak of Mr. Floor, and born out of our extensive experience and knowledge with hardwood floors comes the best hardwood floor cleaner on the market. As we visit Chicagoland homes and businesses every day, we see the damage that incorrect floor maintenance can cause. Most people are not cleaning their hardwood floors properly, and as we all know, a bucket of water and a mop is the surest way to ruin a wood floor. Forget about those harsh chemicals and cleaning products that leave your floors hazy and lifeless. We've researched, developed, and now produce the best hardwood floor cleaner ever. Our cleaner breaks the bonds of dirt and grease from your floor's coating without harming it. It's also eco and pet friendly too. Thousands of Mr. Floor clients have been using our cleaners for years, and now you can too. Visit us online at MrFloor.com to learn more and place your order. Use promo code WGN at checkout for a special offer. Mr. Floor, the first and last name in floors.
Have you been to the Jazz Lounge at the iconic downtown restaurant Catch 35? It's one of the best spots to hear the celebrated music that made Chicago famous, and that's jazz. Bassist Eric Hochberg leads the Eric Hochberg Trio, featuring an ever-changing roster of critically acclaimed jazz musicians. Tuesday through Saturdays, you'll appreciate fantastic music while enjoying Catch 35's newly crafted menu with fresh seafood from the coastal waters. Pan-roasted Chilean sea bass, scalloped surf and turf, Atlantic salmon, plus braised beef short rib, and lots more. Book your reservation now at catch35.com.
If you're looking for the best possible Ford buying experience in Chicagoland, trust Joe Cotton Ford on North Avenue and Carroll Stream. At Joe Cotton Ford, we treat every customer like family. We currently have a great selection of new and used cars and trucks available in the showroom and on the lot. But please call ahead or stop by for the latest inventory. And you can always stop in and order a new car or truck with our expert guidance. Mustangs, F-150s, Transit vans, and more in the color, style, and with all the bells and whistles you want. And Joe Cotton Ford's service and parts department is second to none. We can service all Ford cars and SUVs, F-150 trucks, Super Duty trucks to 550s, and medium-duty commercial trucks up to F-750. Transit connects up to 350 as well. So for your next Ford car, SUV, truck, or commercial vehicle, see Joe Cotton Ford on North Avenue at Gary in Carroll Stream, or visit joecottonford.com.
This episode of Home Sweet Home Chicago is sponsored by David Hochberg and Builders Supply Outlet, Access, and attorney Stephen A. Leahy from Hope M Tax Resolution. For additional sponsors of the Home Sweet Home program, please visit WGNradio.com/Home Sweet Home Chicago. Now, here's David Hochberg and Home Sweet Home Chicago.
312-981-7200, 312-981-7200 is a MegaPro's call, text, and photo line. We are here for the next 2 hours to help you with all of your real estate needs and questions or concerns. Tom was talking about his favorite trucking company and all of the things that go into moving product around. And why don't you just finish up that thought? A texter from 309, wouldn't it be great if all these products were made in the United States of America? Tom, your thoughts?
Well, I mean, it would be great if it was. You know, I used to have a manufacturing business that I sold many years ago, and it was dealing with making fiberglass bathtubs and acrylic bathtubs, and it used resin. Well, guess what? We were a target for the EPA. The problem is we can't make all this stuff in the United States because the EPA will not allow it. I mean, it's just plain and simple. Or you have to put such expensive scrubbers to be able to scrub the air that leaves the factories. So
then the cost of the product would shoot up.
Oh yes, and then what you've got is, even though it's starting to come up, but I remember years ago I went to China to visit some factories, and I mean, my God, they're paying the people $110 a week.
Sure.
Now they're housing them. There's food. I mean, you see these 3- and 4-story housing right at the factories, and basically they're there for like 11 months, and then they have the Chinese New Year.
And then the environmental concerns aren't as tight, because when we would ship electric motors, we would ship them to China. Okay,
Absolutely.
and then they would take it into a gigantic field. They dump all the electric motors, unload all the containers.
Yep.
Put whatever lighting fluid that would ignite the electric motors, and burn them in a field, and let all of the oil and all of the encasings and that go around the electric motors.
It leaches.
It all leaches into the ground. And then what happens after the fire is out and it cools down? They go in and they have bare bright copper, and they break apart the motors. And that's why we ship electric motors to China, because there's no environmental concern, because they burn them.
Well, and that's part of the thing is we're trying to be stewards of our environment here, but when you think about it, and I just heard a statistic here not that long ago, if you look at the surface of the Earth, the United States only covers about 5.5% of the Earth's surface, which means if we don't get other countries to do things, but that's just where the problem is we can't manufacture here because we have the environmental regulations. Over in China, well, so much manufacturing moved from China. It went to Vietnam.
Yep.
It went to Malaysia when he put all the tariffs in. So now they're chasing everybody, trying to get tariffs imposed in other areas. But the long and the short of it is there was such a huge demand because of COVID. Everybody was staying home. Everybody was working from home.
Yep.
And now they're not driving their cars. They're not having all that expense. They're looking at their doors and their cabinets and their flooring and going, let's get this thing replaced. Money was really cheap. So it was just a no-brainer that this country exploded. But now we're doing a little bit of implosion instead of explosion.
Right. And how is this recession going to impact your business in terms of knocking the pricing down? When will the prices of transportation come down, in your opinion? What are you seeing?
It's starting to come down now, but I don't think that we're going to feel the real effects of this until 23.
I was going to say 24.
Yeah, I think you're still going to see some of it in 23, because I think you're going to, once you see this housing, now this bubble is not going to burst, and I've really talked to some people about
different set of variables.
It's a completely different set of variables.
From
I don't think we'll have that implosion because of banking regulations and what have you. But I do think that you're going to see a significant slowdown. You're going to see an inventory pickup. We're usually in the residential real estate, there was always 4 to 6 months worth of inventory. It got down to 4 weeks of inventory.
True.
And that's why, I was doing some flip houses. I'd have 10 offers in 3 days.
Yeah.
I mean, it was unbelievable.
Past 30 months, not today.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Not today.
Not today. I mean, I was very fortunate. I just sold my house here a couple of weeks ago. And so I was very fortunate to catch it before the rest of things slide. But once you start seeing, there's going to be a relief, in the feeding frenzy people had, you're going to start seeing prices come down. And I think you're probably correct that 24 is going to have probably a bigger impact, but you're going to start seeing prices come down in 23.
Good. So it'll get back to somewhat of a normalcy.
Right, because right now the manufacturers, like our cabinet manufacturers, they're not decreasing. Their lead times are decreasing, but their cost of raw materials isn't decreasing yet. That's the next
a lot of
shoot.
that has to do with the shipping.
Yes,
a lot of our raw material costs and everything. Same with us. The cost of getting raw materials from one place to another throughout the supply chain is just so high that the end product ends up being so much higher in cost.
Well, the other thing that's happening too, you could sit and blame everything on shipping. The people are starting to get smart in China and Indonesia and some of these other places where that $110 a week, that ain't flying anymore. Their wages are coming up considerably. They're nowhere near where we match. There's just no way. But that's also taking the
quality of life.
Yeah, I mean, their quality of life is getting better, but I'm sure they're spending more money to live too because our food costs and everything else are up. But it's not going to come back down to where it was. It will never be. It will just never be.
That's Tom Janke. If our listeners want to reach out to you, what's the best way to reach out to you and your team?
They can reach us at 708-343-3900 or go to our website at buildersupplyoutlet.com.
Your shop is closed. It's 17 after 5. Are they open till 6 or are they closed?
No, Saturdays we're open until 5, Monday through Friday, we are open from 9 to 6, and we are still closed on Sundays.
Okay, good. So our listeners could go back into the stores on Monday at what time?
They can get there at 9 o'clock. But I will tell you, pretty much every item that's in that store is now on our website, all priced out. And we are going to be launching January 1, our new e-commerce site where people can go to our site, buy it, and send their contractor to pick it up. They can pay for it, the whole shot.
You know why, Frank? Because Tom's getting out of the way. The dinosaurs moving out, and his kids are coming in. Go, Dad, we're bringing in a little technology.
Trust me, that was not my idea. That is the new brainchild of my children.
The biggest thing that Tom's got technology is the rangefinder in the shop. So these kids, his sons, are bringing you into the 21st century here, and
my sons have taken charge. They run the business day to day, and their mother and I sit back and we oversee them. We have cameras, and they know exactly where the cameras aren't, and that's where they usually are.
One more time, the website, if our listeners want to reach out.
They can go to buildersupplyoutlet.com.
All right, this is Home Sweet Home Chicago on 720. 312-981-7200 is the Mecca Pros call, text, and photo line. We're going to come back with some conversations with Frank and Steve after these messages.
Have you noticed cracked or sinking concrete around your home, driveways, sidewalks, garage floors, or patios? In addition to looking bad, cracked or sinking concrete causes an uneven surface that poses a safety hazard. Hi, I'm Roy Spencer, president of Permaseal. Would you like to fix the problem without replacing the concrete? We have the solution for you. Permaseal polylevel foam can be injected beneath concrete surfaces, leveling and preventing future settlement. Call Permaseal today at 800-421-SEAL for a free evaluation. The polylevel process is done with minimal disruption, quickly and at a fraction of the cost of concrete replacement. And unlike traditional mud jacking methods, polylevel foam is lightweight, so it doesn't add additional weight to the area. Polylevel is the most durable and cosmetically appealing solution to your cracked or sinking concrete. Call Permaseal today at 800-421-SEAL. That's 800-421-SEAL or visit permaseal.net.
Oh, I don't have to tell you, the weather around here is about to change, and when the cold blast of air comes back, does your home have a hard time staying warm? I'll bet it's those old drafty windows and doors. We went through that. This is John Williams. We called Next Door and Window, and you should too. Next Door and Window installed beautiful, energy-efficient Marvin windows and a stunning sliding patio door at our home, and we've hired them again. You'll love their expertise and how they do business. Next Door and Window has been replacing windows and doors for over 20 years now. And they offer it all, including fiberglass windows, which are 8 times stronger than vinyl. Enjoy a proven, simple, and educational window and door replacement process. That's what we had. One of their design and energy experts will bring the showroom to you with a complimentary appointment. Right now, ask about buy one, get one 30% off on windows and doors. Call 1-800-NEXT-DOOR or go to 1-800-NEXTDOOR.com. Tell them John Williams sent you.
Hi, it's Lou Manfredini, and I'm here with Frank Wazalewski, Vice President of Access. Frank, it's important to choose the right stair lift design for your home, but it's also just as important to choose the right contractor to install it.
The right contractor is super important. A lot of times when people call us and they're asking for something like a stair lift, they don't need it. They might need a handrail. They might need a grab bar. So you want to pick a contractor who's not only licensed, but is really looking out for the best interest of what you need in order to achieve the goal that you're looking to.
Now, you often say with Access, no job is too small. What do you mean by that?
No job too small to us means anything that a client needs, we're able to do for them. Something as simple as a grab bar is just as important as a home elevator.
From a simple bathroom grab bar installation to a whole home modification, Access is the company to call. Call 844-IL-LIFTS or visit allaboutaccess.com. That's 844-IL-LIFTS or visit allaboutaccess.com, and you can tell them that Lou sent you.
Tonight, the action's at Soldier Field as the Fire host Inter Miami FC. The Chicago Fire play on WGN TV tonight at 7.
Home Sweet Home Chicago
Stephen A. Leahy.
I just want to mention that the IRS had this problem, and a lot of people weren't getting their refunds.
You're exactly right.
Wham!
What are you talking about?
That's kind of like a Batman.
Oh my gosh, that's actually opposite. You're
It's
exactly
like a
right.
Batman cartoon where you go pow, pow, pow.
Not true.
But just to solidify my point, fight back now. Fight back now. I can say that live, Fight back now.
I'd rather hear it on tape.
Now, here's David Hochberg and Home Sweet Home Chicago.
312-981-7200, Mega Pros call, text, and photo line. 312-981-7200. Frank, you bought a building. You guys got ahead of the supply chain issue by buying a building. To explain that, walk us through that.
So not just the supply chain issue, but we were talking about the shipping costs and all that. So, in our Roselle, Illinois location, we purchased another warehouse, so that basically we could triple, the amount of inventory and stock some more of the oddball stuff. Some of the stuff that we only sell maybe 5 or 6 times a year, but are right now taking 12 to 16 weeks to get, which is very hard to tell somebody who needs to get upstairs or get out of their house, right? It's going to take 12 to 16 weeks. So
how much space did you guys have?
We had a 5,000 square feet. So it was a huge help.
Did you buy it or lease it?
We bought it.
And what are you seeing on the commercial side? Was there a lot of activity for that space, or was that space left empty for a while? Or
we were very fortunate to actually know the owners, and they gave us first right of purchase.
Wow.
So it was very hard to pass up.
That's rare.
Yeah, it was very rare. So they actually had some higher offers, but they liked what we did as a company, so they helped us out.
That's nice.
Yeah, it was really nice. So now, but one of the bigger things that we can do is, instead of me being able to buy, like, say, 10 stair lifts at a time, now I can buy 30 to 40 at a time, which is drastically reduced my shipping costs, which then we can pass on to our customers.
What about the cost break you get from buying 40 at a time? Is there a huge cost break you get, or not much?
My cost break's at 10. So if I buy 10 at a time, I get a small discount that I can pay. But then anything over 10, it's not like per 10. So
got it. But the shipping has got to be
the shipping cost. The shipping saving is huge. Absolutely huge. So.
312-981-7200. Steve, I'll tell you what I see is going to really slow this economy down and really going to put a hurt on a lot of our listeners is January 1st. And I'll tell you what, and there's a double-edged sword here. Number one, and we were talking foreclosures driving down. Okay. It was the most exciting part of our drive, by the way, getting around the construction on Tui. I don't know what they're doing at Tui, but thanks for shutting 3 lanes down to 2.
That was pretty bad today.
It's very, very enjoyable driving down when that happens. But what I see 2 things, and we were talking foreclosures, and our listeners have to understand, in Illinois, guys, we don't kick people out of homes here in Illinois. It takes an act of Congress, if you will. So the foreclosure moratorium, Stephen A. Leahy, was lifted, as you know, and our listeners know, could that listen, because I've been preaching about this, at the end of November of last year. So everybody that was in the queue that got a 20-month reprieve, whatever it was, because of COVID, and you went from March of 2020 to December 1st of 2021, you got to live in that house without any foreclosures proceedings because the courts you couldn't do anything with foreclosures.
I had cases pending right before COVID, and then during COVID, they kept bringing up the case, but they kept kicking it out, especially here in Cook County. Man,
because of the state moratorium.
Yeah,
well, it was a federal too,
and also Cook County. They just wouldn't do it.
Okay, so
and
now
so you couldn't have a case. They couldn't move it along. So they kept bringing up motions, and it kept getting knocked over. Now, obviously, they are hearing those motions, and cases are being judgments are being entered.
December 1st. I want to walk our listeners through, because when I talk about it, they're like, you're crazy, but you're an attorney. You've seen this. You experience it. So December 1st of 2021. Right? We're in September of 2022. Hello? Right? Okay. So it takes how long? I tell our listeners about a year. Is that an accurate statement that it takes about a year to get through the court system when you file an initial foreclosure?
If you don't do anything, it'll take about a year.
Takes about a year.
Maybe a little bit less, because the law is 7 months from the date of that you get served. 7 months from that date. So, and if nothing else happens, or 3 months from the date of judgment. And sometimes that judgment was entered out. And so then that will sometimes.
It takes a year. Okay. Let's just say about a year in the great state of Illinois, especially in the county of Cook. Mm-hmm. So now you're December 1st of 2021. December 1st of 2022, you'll be a year. That's when all those cases should come to a gestation period and should be given birth. But now you're in the middle of winter, right? And what do we know?
Winter is coming.
And the state of Illinois will not foreclose on anybody, especially the county of Cook, in the middle of winter.
Especially the county of Cook.
They will not foreclose on a property in the county of Cook or kick you out of a rental in the county of Cook.
I think it's got to do more with the temperature rather than the date. I think if the temperatures are so, at least outside of Cook County, if the temperatures are low, then they won't evict you.
You got a good chance of being in Chicago because
winter is coming.
That it's going to be pretty damn cold because
winter is coming.
So you basically go until you kick the can further down the court until you get to April 1st. Okay, so now you're at all of those homeowners that got the reprieve. Now we're working their way through. December 1st going to be a year. It's not going to happen until April. That's when the property values you're going to see. If the rates stay high, Tommy, we were talking about this earlier. Where's the opportunities? That's where the opportunities start. Now, all of those individuals who 7 million homeowners went into forbearance, 6 million came out. We have 1 million still in. They're either extending their forbearance or they're going to come to the end of the track that the train's got no more track to roll on.
Yep.
And the servicer has a right to recoup their money and to have that loan perform because they haven't been getting any money for a long period of time. The foreclosures proceedings are going to start happening on those, and that's where all the inventory is going to start coming in.
Absolutely. And of course, it's got to happen. Right,
it's got to happen. It sucks. It hurts, but
eventually they have to get paid. They being the
servicer.
Holder. Yeah,
the servicer of the mortgage has to get paid. And if those individuals can't afford to make the mortgage payment, they can't afford to go to the pizza place to buy a pizza, the dry cleaner to get dry cleaned, to hire the landscaping company. It just puts a major hole in the economy of the area where the house is. I'm not trying to be a capitalistic pig here. I'm just telling you the way it
works.
Okay,
yep.
So you've got that coming, and then you got the student loan repayment starting on January 1st. That's the carbon monoxide.
Are they not going to postpone that again?
You're done. January 1st, Tommy, you're going to have to start paying student loans, and those student loan payments, I know we got to go to break, Benny, so keep your jets cool. It's $500 to $3,000 a month. When that starts coming out, and our listeners don't have that money, the credit card balances are going to start going up, and the minimum monthly payments are going to skyrocket because the Fed's going to continue to tighten this thing down because the Fed chairman said, there's going to be bodies on the side of the road.
That's right. Credit cards are already up.
We're going to talk about this more on the other side. Ron Brown's like, shut up already. I got some exciting news, traffic, and weather. We're going to throw it over to Ronnie in the newsroom. 312-981-7200, 312-981-7200 is a MegaPros call, text, and photo line. This is Home Sweet Home Chicago at 720 WGM.
When news breaks in Chicago or the world, you'll hear it here, and we'll talk about it here. This is Chicago's very own 720 WGN, or download the WGN radio app and stream us live.
WGN Radio News is on the air. Good evening, I'm Ron Brown at 5:30. The news is sponsored by News Nation. They're housing almost 100 more migrants in Elk Grove Village. We'll have that story coming up. First, a look at sports. Illinois is leading Virginia 24-3 in the third quarter. Washington State is leading Wisconsin 17-14 in the fourth. And the Purdue Boilermakers are leading Indiana State. It's 49-0 in the third quarter. Iowa Hawkeyes are leading Iowa State 7-3. Notre Dame were 20-point favorites today, but they were upset by Marshall 26-21 in South Bend. The Thundering Herd forced 3 turnovers in that game. Games still to be played tonight. Northern Illinois at Tulsa and Idaho at Indiana. They start at 6 and 7 o'clock. In baseball, the San Francisco Giants ended a 5-game losing streak by beating the Cubs today 5-2 at Wrigley. The big inning, a 4-run second for the Giants. The Sox are ahead of the Oakland A's out on the West Coast, 7-1 in the 6th inning. Sox have 15 hits already. Soccer tonight, Miami at Chicago Fire. That match begins at 7 o'clock. Taking a look at WGN traffic, the Edens is solid inbound between Peterson and Montrose. The Kennedy is solid outbound between Addison and the Edens Junction. The Dan Ryan is slow inbound between the Chinatown feeder ramp and the Burn. An additional 90 migrants from Texas are now being housed at a hotel in Elk Grove Village. Some will stay there until finding permanent housing. Mayor Craig Johnson says this news came without any direction from state, county, or city of Chicago officials, and that they were forced to scramble to figure out what to do on their own. Johnson reassured residents that the village is now ready for the arrival of more migrants and will continue to monitor the situation closely. An overnight shooting in the South Loop leaves 2 men dead. This happened in the 100 block of West Cermak shortly after 2 a.m. Police say the men were shot on the sidewalk. A 30-year-old man shot in the chest, and he died at the scene. The other man was shot in the back and face and was taken to Northwestern, where he was pronounced dead. The forecast from the WGN Chicago Weather Center. Tonight, there's a 30% chance of showers late, a low of 65 degrees. Tomorrow, a 90% chance of showers, and storms are possible, a high of just 69 degrees. Tomorrow night, a 50% chance of showers, a low of 56. Monday, still a 50% chance of showers and a high of 65. It's currently 83 degrees at O'Hare. Celebrating our 100th year serving Chicago, I'm Ron Brown on Chicago's very own 720 WGN.
I had the house for 20 years as original rain gutters, and they were getting in pretty bad shape. I got a few quotes from gutter companies as well as MegaPro. I was impressed with MegaPro more than the other gutter companies. They were really courteous. They came over and did a good job measuring and everything like that. And as we were going through the estimates for the rain gutters, Kyle noticed that by my chimney, they were missing a couple of sheets of aluminum siding up there. So he took care of that as well.
We are talking today with mega customer John Reed of Algonquin.
The other thing I did with them is I had original countertops, original kitchen, and all that kind of stuff. They came in and measured it and did a terrific job with it. Really pops the kitchen. Really looks good.
One mega call does it all.
847-658-8989. 847-658-8989.
Megapros.com.
One mega call does it all.
Hi, this is David Hochberg, and I'm here with my good friend and real estate attorney and trust planning expert, David Schluter. David, I got a call the other day from a listener. Family member was named as an executor to the estate and has not received a response in 6 months after the second parent has passed away. What are the options for this listener?
The reason they may not be calling him back is because it could be in a private trust in which that sibling who's calling you may not be a part of, unfortunately. So the answer is to have a qualified attorney like me have the title pulled to see exactly how that title was held. If it's in a private trust, they might or may not answer a letter, but if it's still in the parent's name, they can force an estate regardless of what the brother or sister want to do.
This is why you need to call David Schluter if you have any real estate or estate planning questions. 630-285-5300. 630-285-5300.
Hey, it's Cap, and I love going to the gym. Lifting weights is a passion and getting a good workout in. But I was never able to drop the weight that I wanted. I was introduced to SodaWeightLoss.com, SOTA. They taught me how to drop the fat weight while I preserved and enhanced my muscle mass percentage. I learned about personal nutrition, and now I'm proud to say I'm down 28.8 pounds, feeling damn good, 100% over the phone, so it's an easy process. Soda is, say it with me now, state of the art.
There's a welcome addition to the neighborhood. Mariano's friendly grocery delivery service, fulfilled by Kroger Delivery. So you can feast at great prices without missing a beat of your busy day. And it's all guaranteed fresh from the coolness of our refrigerated trucks. You order the fresh, and we'll take care of the rest. When you're a Mariano's Boost member, you get free delivery, double fuel points, and lots more. Boost by Mariano's. See further details at marianos.com. Double fuel points and exclusive savings for as low as $59 a year.
Dean Richards. It was a real pleasure to get on a Zoom call with Dave Grohl.
Chicago is the city where I had my introduction to live rock and roll at the Cubby Bear. Thank you. I left my heart in Chicago.
Sunday morning at 9 on WGN.
They are just the quintessential rock and roll band.
Now, here's David Hochberg and Home Sweet Home Chicago.
312-981-7200, Megapro's call, text, and photo line, 312-981-7200. Well, did I do a good enough job, Steve, with the timeline there? I mean, does that give our listeners a better understanding of what's happening on the foreclosure side. I've been saying foreclosures are going to be going up for the past 2 years. I've been preaching, sell your home quick. Rates aren't going to stay low, and foreclosures are coming. If you haven't noticed, the guy at Grandview has been bombing the airways, right? He's not a Tom Detlich. Never met the guy. Wouldn't know him if I walked past him on the way to the car. But he's been flooding the airwaves across this town with his "will buy any home, any shape, whatever it is." I'm the Earl Scheib of the home improvement company. Of home sales. Any car, any color for $49.99.
I remember it well.
Right, right, because you took your cars there. But he's been bombing the airways. Why has he been bombing? Because he sees it coming.
Yeah,
he knows what's down the road. He knows all of these homes. The same thing that we just talked about. Is there anything our listeners can do?
Well, you don't wait till the date of sale, okay? Because now just to explain kind of what happens after a foreclosure sale. First, there's a sale. Then they have to go to court again and go and get what they call a confirmation of that sale. And then you have 30 days from that date. But if you wait till after the sale, you might not be able to I shouldn't say take advantage, but sometimes there's rules about bankruptcy and how to walk away from this. And I always think about people wait too long. And there's something about what's called secured debt, right? If it's secured by your home, and unsecured debt. Secured debt you can use to qualify for a Chapter 7 bankruptcy. And so maybe you're going to be, I had a client just this week, there was a judgment against them for a foreclosure for $240,000. Well, he's never going to be able to pay that $240,000. Right. But if you wait till after the foreclosure sale, that's no longer secured debt. Now it's unsecured debt, and you can't qualify if your income is too high.
I talk to listeners every single week. 2 weeks ago, guy had $80,000 worth of credit card debt. His wife had $50,000. Okay, they owed $420,000 on them. Nothing I could do to refinance them out. They would have called me last year. I had a shot. Their $550,000 home was worth $6 million. I had a better shot. Rates were a lot lower. Qualifying, I had a better shot. Now I told them I can't do anything. Forget about it. Even if I bring your wife on and her $2,000 a month income, I got to counter $40,000, $50,000 worth of debt. It doesn't work. You got to file bankruptcy. I'm going to lose my house. What's your response to that?
Well, sometimes filing bankruptcy is the only way to save your home. Oftentimes.
Why?
Because if they get a judgment against you, right, they're going to get your credit cards. If you're not paying your credit cards, right, they're going to take you to court. You're going to get a judgment against you.
Sure.
And they're going to put a lien against your home too.
Somehow this guy and gal have been juggling their credit, $140,000, $50,000. Pretty impressive. I don't know how they're doing it, but no late credit card payments yet. They're just maxed out on everything. And they can't breathe.
I see that a lot. That people have a lot of credit card debt, and they fight and they pay, so they're current. So if you tried to call your credit card company and try to work out a deal with them, they're not going to deal with you because you're paying.
Right.
As long as you're paying, they're not going to discount anything. The only time credit card companies, and I do some credit card negotiations too, because you don't want to file bankruptcy.
Right.
If you can work out some sort of payment plan with your or with your credit cards, that's the first thing you want to do. You want to avoid bankruptcy. You can only file bankruptcy once every seven years. So you don't want to, I always say, keep that trump card in your pocket. Only use it if you really have to.
Will our listeners lose their home if they file bankruptcy?
Not if there's not a lot of equity in the home. If there is a lot of equity, then you might be able to buy back some of the equity. So the answer is not very often. You don't really lose your home unless there's a lot of equity. Here in Illinois, you could protect $30,000 with a married couple. You could protect $30,000 in equity, plus the cost and everything to sell the home that gets worked into there too. So if you had a $200,000 home with a $30,000, you owe $200,000.
Sure.
It's worth $250,000. Well, $30,000 is protected. It's going to cost another 10% to sell, so you could probably walk away and not lose anything.
This couple makes $150,000 combined. They live in a $500,000 home, used to be worth $550,000. Okay, they owe $400,000 on the mortgage. They're at 80% capacity. with $130,000 to $150,000 worth of credit card debt, right? If you were able to, and I understand there's some type of mathematical equation, but if they qualified for a Chapter 7 bankruptcy and you were able to just blow everything, that's a complete credit colonic. Everything's blown out. They don't owe anything. Everything's gone. Their mortgage payment, as long as they continue to make the mortgage payment, will they be able to live in the house? Yes or no?
The answer is yes.
Of course it's yes. I knew the answer to that question. I'm giving you a 3-2 fastball. Thank you for not saying it depends. So if you able to file a Chapter 7 bankruptcy and blow out, if this couple, and again, I said you got to talk to Stephen A. Leahy, was able to blow out 100 and pull a 13 if they qualified, blew out all their debt, their mortgage would be non-affirmed, right?
If you don't affirm the mortgage, you still can pay. Even if you don't reaffirm the mortgage, you could still pay it and you don't lose your home.
As long as the mortgage company's receiving a check, you're not going to get kicked out of your home.
That's correct.
Okay, let me stress that again. As long as the mortgage company is receiving a check, if you file bankruptcy, that's all they care about. They just want the money coming in so they can take care of their servicers and you can take care of their investors. So you can refinance somewhere. I've done this thousands of times in the past 21 years. You can refinance. You could save your home with a bankruptcy, and you can refinance after a bankruptcy.
People get really confused about this because when you file a bankruptcy, your mortgage is discharged, means I don't owe that anymore. Okay, so you're not personally liable for that any longer. But if you keep paying it, they have to go to foreclosure and prove that they're not getting paid before they can take your house away from you. And if you're paying it, they can't prove that. So you don't lose your home.
If you're paying it, they're not going to mess with you.
Exactly.
And
they don't have a legal right to do it. So.
Then you spend. Then this couple would save $5,000 a month. $5,000 a month if you could qualify for them for a Chapter 7. You know what this guy tells me? It's a friend of mine. He's like, my wife's afraid she's going to lose the house. You're not going to lose the house. I'm like, would you just talk to Stephen A. Leahy? I don't. How do you know? 21 years of doing this. Okay, I've got a little bit of experience underneath the hood. I know what I'm talking about. Okay, as long as you're making the payment, then somewhere down the road, 2-3 years down the road, we do a refinance, and we refinance you. If you need to refinance out of the loan, it's fine. You just got to show you're making the payments, and there'll be a program for you.
Because they can't foreclose.
They can't foreclose if you're making the payment. For listeners who want to reach you,
call me 312-664-6649. If you're having a question like that, will I lose my home? Call me. I'll go through it with you. I've been in the car many times with you, David. When you go through their, someone asks you a question, you go through, ask the questions. Right. You know the questions they ask. I know the questions they ask. So call me if you have that. 312-664-6649.
This guy said, give me the weekend and I'll think about it. This was last weekend. He didn't call me all this week. So now he's still doing the ostrich, right? Burying his head in the sand. Where'd that get him? Right? That got him to 130, 40 G's worth of credit card debt. Yeah. And he's in deep trouble. And I'm like, dude.
Pride is powerful.
Here, take your pride, cut it into small pieces and put it in a pipe and smoke it. You're going to lose your house if you keep going down this path, Frank. Right? I've got a solution for you. Right? You just got to reach out and take it. It's just, I got a better story after the break. 312. I got this one yesterday at 3:00 in the afternoon. Like a listener calls in and says, what's the best credit card companies out there to switch balances? I'm like, well, not a credit card company. I don't know. There's more to that story. This is even better. So Frank's looking at me. You're crazy. Frank, your head's going to spin off like a drunken dreidel after you hear this one. 312-981-72.
Drunken dreidel?
Yeah. And then you've seen dreidels and the drunken ones spin crazy.
I didn't know there was such a thing.
Come on. You need to hang out with Jews around Hanukkah time. There's a lot of drunken dreidels flying around. You just hang out with the Jews before Hanukkah. During Hanukkah, crazy things happen. 312-981-72. You got to hang out with more Jews, period. You're up in Bannockburn, you're Leafy, North Shore.
Come on.
There's not a lot of Jews up there. You got to come a little further south. Northbrook, and Deerfield, 312. I don't know. You cross, 22. It's kind of like the boundary. 312-981-7200, 312-981-7200 is American Pro's call, text, and photo line. This is Home Sweet Home Chicago, 720 WGN.
WGN. Hi, it's Lindsay from House Smarts Radio. You've heard me talk about Builder Supply Outlet for years, but now hear from their customer Liz from Burr Ridge.
We found our forever home, did not have the forever kitchen. My husband heard about Builder Supply Outlet on the radio. We walked in. One of the displays caught my attention immediately, and it's inspired what you're looking at right now. I'm just going to say it. There's a wide selection of kitchen cabinets, accessories, whatever you need. All in one place. There's no more driving around. Not big box to we don't have it to we can't help you. Customer service with high quality. Our kitchen is done. It's our dream space. Builder Supply Outlet has it all under one roof. I cannot wait to redo our bathroom.
Another satisfied customer. But remember, we're so much more than kitchen remodeling. Builder Supply Outlet is located just 5 miles east of the Oakbrook Shopping Mall on Sir Mack Road in Broadview, or online at buildersupplyoutlet.com.
Quality and savings are what you get at Builder Supply Outlet.
BMO Harris is a proud sponsor of the Home Sweet Home Chicago radio program. If you, like many other homeowners right now, are considering a home renovation project, contact BMO Harris Bank to learn more about how they can help you finance your project. For more information, visit them at bmoharris.com/homesweethome. That's bmoharris.com/homesweethome. Or just click their link on the WGN Home Sweet Home Chicago program page.
This is Jen from Dykstra Home Services. Winter's just around the corner, but lucky for you, we still have quite a few Carrier air conditioners left in stock that we have to move out to make room for our furnace order. So we're having a warehouse clearance sale on everything that we have in stock until the end of the month. Don't delay. Call today for a free in-home estimate, 800-421-3220 or WGNheatingguide.com. Carrier, turn to the experts and the experts at Dykstra Home Services, the only Hall of Fame dealer in Illinois.
Do you know the fastest growing cable news network in America?
It's News Nation. We're new and we're different. At News Nation, we are telling stories that matter to you and your family.
And people are taking notice. If you're looking for news without the noise,
come back to something different. Come back to the news the way it used to be.
Tell your friends why.
News Nation is news for all America.
Find News Nation on Xfinity Channel 223, DirecTV Channel 307, and Dish Channel 239.
Let me ask you a question. Have you heard of Capital Electric? They have a quiet, cool fan system that will naturally cool your home and make your upstairs bedrooms nice and comfortable. And even better, it's going to reduce your AC cost by 50 to 90% each month. This revolutionary system uses cool evening air to push the heat right out of your house. Call Capital Electric right now, 630-833-2389, or visit capitalelectric.com. That's capital with a K, capitalelectric.com.
Home Sweet Home Chicago.
Whoop, there goes the 39.
Exactly.
Okay. Now what happens?
You still owe it.
I know you owe it there, Zippy.
Is that something new?
Well, that's a technical term here.
I thought that was an endearing term.
Yeah.
Zippy. Kind of like fluffy. Just cool it, Zippy.
There's an Urban Dictionary. Look up Zippy. I can't explain it on the air. Else we'll get turned off and Dean Richards will walk in here.
Now, here's David Hochberg and Home Sweet Home Chicago.
There's like a teleporting machine in Dean Richards' house, like Star Trek. He just goes in, they beam him right in here. 312-981-7200. Here's a conversation I had. Tom, you're going to love this one. Here's a conversation I had. Lady called me up. She's like, we got $50,000 with credit card debt. Can you tell me the best credit card to transfer our balances? I go, I appreciate you listening to the show. I appreciate the call. I go, I'm not a credit card company. I don't do credit cards. Okay. I'm like, well, how much do you owe on your house? We owe $800,000 on the house. How much is your house worth? About 1.5. I'm like, oh, you got a ton of equity. How's your credit? Good, bad, great, excellent, needs work. It's great. And we're self-employed, and we've been doing this for years, and we make $400,000 a year. I'm like, okay, why don't you just pull out a line of credit against your house to pay off your debt? You listen to the show all the time. You hear me talk about pulling out line of credit. Best time, we just talked about it during the break.
Yeah.
The best time to pull out a home equity line of credit is when you don't need a home equity line of credit, so it's there when you need it. It's not that deep, okay? She's like, husband won't do it. I go, well, your husband, in all due respect to your husband, is not thinking straight. And he's a numbers guy, and I don't know what type of numbers he's looking at, but he's skewed. So you'd rather pay a credit card company $2,000 a month instead of paying yourself back. It makes no sense to me. So back and forth. I go, how much cash? Go ahead.
How much is a HELOC? What's the interest rate on a
it's
HELOC?
5.5%, 6%
Okay, so you're at
interest
6%
only.
on a HELOC, or you're at 16%?
You're 16 to 28%.
On a
It's
credit
going
card.
up another
That's no brainer.
3/4 of a point. Okay, so then she goes back and forth. I'm like, how much money you got in cash? You got all these businesses that you're running. She's like, we probably got $20,000 to $30,000 worth of cash in various accounts. I go, okay. You probably don't want to tap the cash because there's no way to get it out if you need it in an emergency. That's what the HELOC is for. She's like, I know. I listen to your show all the time, but my husband won't do it. I said, well, your husband's wrong. I said, I'll tell you what. Google Polynesian women ending wars. Okay? I go, that's what you do. Right? I go, that's what the Polynesian women did when their husband did stupid things. Okay? They would do things, cut things off until the husband saw, I'm tired of these wars with the other Pacific Islanders. No more happy time. I told her, I'm like, this is what he's not thinking rationally. And you are thinking rationally because she's like, I want to do the HELOC. I'm like, your husband is not thinking right. He's driving you into the rocks financially. Why do you want to pay a credit card company, like Frank just said, 17 to 25% when you can pay yourself back at 6%? What am I missing? It's crazy. So there. She said she was listening. So there. I told that's how you do it. Let's talk about our listeners that need help because you might be leaving a little early. And we got a ton of text messages about the financing options. Again, you explain what this young lady that's been with you for 15 plus years, I forgot her name already.
Oh, Kristen.
Kristen. What exactly does a consultation with Kristen look like? A listener's listening right now, okay? It's either for them or their parents. It's most likely for their parents because their parents are too damn stubborn to call, because they're like the vet. I don't need it. There's somebody else that needs it more than me. But the listeners or the kids have become their parents' parent and know damn well that mom and dad need this, or aunt and uncle Bob or Sally need this. What's that consultation like to get the financing?
Well, I am definitely not Kristen. She's much more graceful at this, but we kind of go through, okay, what's your disability, right? So,
Sure.
so somebody who has MS is going to have different options open to them than somebody who has ALS, right? They're going to have different options than, somebody who's got CP. And it's really okay. What are not so much what are your assets, but what's your income level, and based on that, we can say, okay, you qualify for this state programs or you qualify for these, and we can let you know that, Kristen will kind of guide you down. Okay, I know of these 5 or 6 things that you fall in the range for, and then she will help get you the documentation. So obviously you have to fill it out yourselves, and
right.
Hand that into the state or into the foundation or
grant program
or whatever it might be at that point. But she will just help you kind of narrow down. It's kind of like looking for a student, student
loan forgiveness,
not so much. What am I thinking of?
Consolidation?
No.
Oh, the FAFSA program?
FAFSA or getting a grant for school or something like that.
Sure.
You got a scholarship, right? So there's a million scholarships out there. How do I qualify for this? Kristen can narrow it down for you in a matter of moments and say, okay, this is what these things are out there for you. Go apply for these, and this is where you want to go.
Texter just sent in. Is this just for elderly people? That's all we're talking about.
No. So there are different programs that are available for kids up to age 18. And then there's different programs that are available for people from 20 to 65. And I got to tell you, 19 and 20 is like this big black hole. You either need to apply before you're 18 or wait till you're 21.
Really?
I don't know why. But it's like this no man's land of 19 and 20 where no program out there wants to pick you up because you're not technically a full-fledged independent adult and you're not a child. So
and that individual is still growing and forming and becoming
still
more,
has needs
right.
and everything else. I'm not saying it's right. It's just unfortunately the way the program is.
It's what it is.
Yeah. And then there's programs. So the other programs will go from like 21 to 65. And then there's a whole other set of programs for when you're over 65.
Wow.
And then again, there's a whole bunch of independent organizations that are out there.
So there is money there.
Right.
You just need to know where to get.
Right. And then if you have assets in your home like that, we have Josh Herman is on our site. Dave Hochberg's on our site. Right. There's people that you can contact, to help fill in the blanks where, other agencies, are getting you some of the money and where you can help get the rest of it.
Phone number. We got to hit a break here.
630-616-6249.
All right. We're going to come back with Stephen A. Leahy dancing the Irish jig after this break. 312-981-7200. He's downloading it on Google right now. He's got a YouTube video. He's never danced before, so this should be entertaining. 312-981-7200. That's a Mega Pros call, text, and photo line. This is Home Sweet Home Chicago on WGN.
Despite whatever you may have heard about the real estate market lately, if you're interested in buying or selling a home or need to sell, don't worry that you've missed the boat. In my mind, it's always a great time to buy the right property at the right price. I'm Lisa Dent. I'll tell you what, I'm a big fan of Amy Kite. I've known her for years. It's Amy Kite with Keller Williams Realty Infinity. Amy knows there's lots of reasons people decide to move, one of which is people are uncoupling and moving apart and needing to find one or two new homes and sell their current home. In cases like this, Amy becomes more like a real estate planner, taking into consideration the needs of both parties and helping them move as seamlessly as possible into the next phases of their lives. Listen, Amy says properties are still moving and everyone needs a roof over their head. Don't let the fear of a fluctuating market stop you from living your best life. Call Amy Kite and she will sell your home. Go to amywillsellyourhome.com. That's amywillsellyourhome.com.
That's the sound of the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program, saving you money and energy. With rebates on Energy Star appliances, so you can come back to a home full of savings. Discover more ways to save at ComEd.com/home savings. ComEd, powering lives.
You've heard us say how Ray Kaplan has saved WGN radio listeners millions of dollars in student loan debt. Now hear it from one of Ray's actual clients.
Ms. Kaplan, I just wanted to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. You have saved me and my family over $300,000. I could not believe that you have saved me that much. You make the impossible possible. Thank you again.
Call Kaplan Law 312-294-8989 or visit financialrelief.com. Kaplan Law is located at 25 East Washington in Chicago.
Lou Manfredini here. Fireplaces and furnaces need a safety inspection every year. For over 50 years, Lindemann has been keeping Chicagoland's finest homes safe and sound. Schedule online at lindemann.com.
JC Restoration, your trusted property damage expert, has merged with Colorado-based national firm Blue Sky Restoration Contractors. As part of the Blue Sky family, they will continue to offer the best around-the-clock restoration and emergency mitigation services for properties affected by water, fire, smoke, mold, or storms in the greater Chicagoland area. Plus, they're now able to provide commercial roofing and healthcare restoration services. Blue Sky provides commercial, industrial, governmental, residential, and multifamily restoration, renovation, environmental, and roofing services across the nation. Your familiar Chicago area crew is operating business as usual, with a larger team and more resources, responding to any property damage needs. Blue Sky's engaged employees bring experience and teamwork to anyone who owns or manages property, provides property insurance, or manages property insurance claims. For more information on Blue Sky Restoration Contractors, formerly JC Restoration, visit GoBlueSky.com. That's go, BLUSKY.com. Or call 800-266-5677. JC Restoration is now Blue Sky Restoration Contractors and here to serve you.
Broadcast excellence for Chicago and the Midwest for 100 years. This is WGN at AM 720 and on smart devices worldwide. WGN Chicago, a Nexstar Media Group station.
WGN Radio News is on the air. Good evening. I'm Ron Brown. At 6 o'clock, the news is sponsored by Permaseal Basement Systems. From Texas to Elk Grove Village, a new temporary home for about 90 immigrants. We'll have that story coming up. First, a look at WGN traffic. An accident on the Bishop Ford is causing solid traffic in the outbound lanes between King Drive and Steel Bridge. DuSable Lakeshore Drive has a trouble spot in the southbound lanes between Fullerton Parkway and Chicago Avenue. The Eisenhower is stop and go inbound between Manheim and Austin. The Kennedy is very slow inbound between the Edens Junction and the Byrne Interchange. An additional 90 migrants from Texas are now being housed at a hotel in Elk Grove Village.
Some of those migrants will stay in the hotel until they find permanent housing. Mayor Craig Johnson says this news came with no direction from the state, county, or city of Chicago, and that they were forced to scramble to figure out what to do. Johnson also reassured residents in his statement that the village is now ready for the arrival of migrants, and they will continue to monitor this situation closely. Kevin Wells, WGN News.
An overnight shooting in the South Loop leaves 2 men dead. WGN's Andrea Medina reports.
Hungry customers have been turned away at Windy City Ribs and Whiskey in South Loop after bullets damaged the restaurant. Chef Mr. Nick spent most of the day cleaning up the shattered glass. He says there have been some shooting incidents in the area, but he never thought gun violence would hit his place of work. According to CPD, 2 men were shot near Michigan Avenue and Cermak Road just after 2 a.m. on Saturday. Police say both victims were standing on a sidewalk when someone fired shots.
A 30-year-old man was pronounced dead on the scene with gunshot wounds to the chest. Another man was taken to the hospital in critical condition after being shot in the head and back. He died from his wounds a few hours later. Queen Elizabeth II's state funeral has been set for Monday, September 19th at Westminster Abbey. Organizers say the ceremony will be a fitting farewell to one of the defining figures of our times. Full details on the 96-year-old Queen's funeral will be released a little later. In the next few days, the Queen's body will be brought from Balmoral, first to Edinburgh and then to London, where she will lie in state. Elon Musk sent a third letter to Twitter attempting to terminate his $44 billion acquisition of the company. Musk's legal team cited Twitter's multi-million-dollar severance payment to a former security chief and whistleblower as a violation of the merger agreement and a reason to end the deal. The purchase agreement bars Twitter from providing any out-of-the-ordinary severance or termination payments. The letter was included in a filing Twitter made with the SEC yesterday. The Love Institute hosted its walk and bike tour in Chicago's South Side. WGN's Christine Flores reports the goal is to bring people together and spread a message of peace.
Cyclists and people of all ages stepped out today for the Love Institute's Bike and Walk event, which toured residents through 9 of their 5 feet tall fiberglass hearts.
Today, we are celebrating 10 years of service in the Bronzeville community.
The hearts were designed by residents to reflect what they consider their normal to be.
And how about this? A discovery at Tribune Tower is tied to a dark time in Chicago's sports history. A baseball found in a time capsule could be worth $1 million or more. It's from the 1919 World Series between the Chicago White Sox, nicknamed the Black Sox, and the Cincinnati Reds, and many consider it to be the biggest scandal in sports history. 8 White Sox players were accused of accepting bribes to fix the World Series, although they were acquitted. Chicago Sports Museum founder Grant DePorter.
When the developers of the building said, it's a baseball, it's from 1920, I bet it's from the 1919 World Series, but he wasn't sure. This ball was used in Game 5 of the 1919 World Series. It set a World Series record that's never been broken. The ball struck out 6 White Sox batters in a row.
The baseball is headed to the Chicago Sports Museum, where it'll be displayed until the owners decide just what to do with it. And now WGN Sports. Illinois is leading Virginia 24-3 in the fourth quarter. Washington State is leading Wisconsin 17-14 in the fourth quarter. The Purdue Boilermakers, well, it's a laugher at Indiana State. They're leading 56-0 in the fourth quarter. Iowa Hawkeyes are trailing Iowa State 10-7 in the fourth. Notre Dame were 20-point favorites going into their game today, but they were upset by Marshall 26-21 in South Bend. The Thundering Herd forced 3 turnovers to get that victory. Northern Illinois at Tulsa. That game is just beginning in Tulsa. In baseball, the San Francisco Giants ended a 5-game losing streak by beating the Chicago Cubs today 5-2 at Wrigley. The big inning, a 4-run second for the Giants. The Sox are ahead of the Oakland A's out on the West Coast 9-2 in the 7th inning. Sox now have 18 hits in that ball game. Soccer, Miami and Chicago Fire. That match begins at 7 p.m. The forecast from the WGN Chicago Weather Center. Meteorologist Mike Jensen.
We are enjoying a very comfortable evening, but look for clouds to increase overnight tonight. And there is a chance for some widely scattered showers late as we get closer to daybreak. Temperatures falling into the mid-60s. Showers are then likely here on Sunday. On and off rain could be heavy at times, maybe a few thunderstorms, breezy highs in the upper 60s. On Monday, mostly cloudy, still a chance for scattered showers. Highs only in the mid-60s. Then our clouds finally decrease on Tuesday with highs in the mid-70s. Mostly sunny Wednesday, highs in the mid to upper 70s. From the WGN Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Mike Jansen.
It's currently 83 degrees at the airport, celebrating our 100th year serving Chicago. I'm Ron Brown on Chicago's very own 720 WGN.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. I'm David Hochberg. Coming up after the break, we got Jim and McHenry with a question about reverse mortgages.
Hear that? That's Beethoven's Ninth Symphony. Cardiologists at Oxford University discovered that classical music lowers blood pressure. And September is Classical Music Month. But if classical music isn't your jam, maybe you prefer country or classic rock like me, I have another suggestion for you. 120 Life, a functional juice drink made with natural ingredients like tart cherry, cranberry, and beetroot. 120 Life helps lower blood pressure and will help you stay hydrated. You can check it out at 120life.com. That's 120life.com. It's a great website for information and helpful resources to help manage high blood pressure. And for your convenience, you can try their 2-week trial pack with a money-back guarantee. Use the code WGN10 at checkout for 10% off your order plus free shipping. Try 120 Life today at 120life.com. So whether it's through Music Beats or Beetroot, it's all about getting your blood pressure under control.
That sound? That's flowers putting up a fight. Thousands of them at the Alzheimer's Association Walk to End Alzheimer's, carried by people committed to the cause. It doesn't matter what obstacles are in their way. Just like flowers, our participants keep going, raising funds and awareness for a breakthrough in the fight against Alzheimer's and all other dementia. Now it's time to add your flower. Join us at AOZ.org/walk.
Having repairs done in your apartment should never come with strings attached, like being harassed and constantly pressured for sexual favors.
My landlord told me my rent would be free if I gave him something in exchange.
The Fair Housing Act protects you from harassment by anyone associated with your housing, including someone making unwelcome sexual advances. If this happens to you, file a complaint with HUD. No strings attached. To learn more, visit HUD.gov/fairhousing. If you fear for your safety, call 911. A public service message from HUD in partnership with the National Fair Housing Alliance.
Could your home or office use an upgrade with customized furniture in just the color and finish you like? I'm John Williams, and what we make has a first-time ever offer. Save 15% on your custom order of gorgeous hardwood tables, desks, and cabinets built to your specs for your living room, your dining room, your bathroom, that workspace, handmade right here in Algonquin by great craftsmen in a family-run business. Search for What We Make or type www.make.com into your browser. Get heirloom quality furniture from reclaimed and locally sourced hardwoods and save 15% with delivery times and prices that beat the big furniture stores. Use the promo code WGN15 to save 15% for the first 15 people to buy a dining table and benches, coffee and or console tables. WGN15 at checkout right now. Click on www.make.com.
Beat the fall rush and get your fireplace ready now with the Fireplace and Chimney Authority. Not only does cleaning help prevent chimney fires, but inspections ensure the integrity of the chimney itself. Fireplace and Chimney Authority specializes in all things fireplace, including chimney repair, tuck pointing, liners, fireplace refacing, gas fireplaces, and so much more. Use promo code WGN to receive $40 off your next chimney cleaning. Call 630-279-8500. Visit their showrooms in Lisle or Elmhurst or fireplaceandchimneyauthority.com.
Maine Kenny here. Kenny Maine here. All right, that one was on me. And hey, for new Caesars Sportsbook app users, your first bet's on Caesars. So if you don't win, you get it wrong, you get up to $1,250 back as a free bet. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app and sign up with the code RADIOFULL.
Open to new users in Illinois who are 21 or older. If qualifying bet loses, bet amount returned as a credit. Must use within 14 days. See Caesars.com/promos for full terms. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER.
This episode of Home Sweet Home Chicago is sponsored by David Hochberg and Builders Supply Outlet, Access, and attorney Stephen A. Leahy from OPEM Tax Resolution. For additional sponsors of the Home Sweet Home program, please visit WGNradio.com/Home Sweet Home Chicago. Now, here's David Hochberg and Home Sweet Home Chicago.
312-981-7200, last hour of this fine radio show. Thank you for tuning in and listening on this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Saturday afternoon. We're going to go out to Jim and McHenry. We had a heated, a very eventful conversation about reverse mortgages before we came out of break. So, Jimmy, what's your question, buddy? Thanks for calling. Thanks for being the only caller. It's great.
Thank you very much for taking my call. How does reverse mortgages work, David?
It's a mortgage against your home, like any other mortgage against your home, Jim. Okay, so is there a mortgage on your home right now?
No.
Okay, if you had a mortgage on your home, that mortgage would be considered a forward-paying mortgage, which means somewhere in the future, down the road, you will pay that off, right? Since you don't have a mortgage, it would be attached to your home as a regular mortgage vehicle. Okay, a mortgage component, a mortgage investment tool. How much is your home worth, Jim?
About 200.
And how old are you?
I'll be 80.
80. Is it only you, or is there somebody else on the loan?
There's my wife.
How old is she?
She's 82.
Okay, so she's 80 as well, or 82?
No, 80 as well.
Okay, 80 as well. So 80-year-old individuals, Tom. You're a lot younger, okay?
A little bit.
So this couple here is 80 years old. They own their home free and clear. They would it's based upon a 100-year life expectancy. Okay, Jim? Okay. That's why I asked you how old you are. I'm not being discreet. You can't discriminate. You can't discriminate against age. I typically won't ask how old you are in a normal mortgage proceeding, but since you are calling for a reverse mortgage, I need to know if you qualify for a reverse mortgage. And of 80 years old, you are older than 62, you qualify. Okay? Is your credit good, bad, great, horrible?
Around 800.
800. So you have great credit, okay, which is good because everybody has to pass what's called the life expectancy set aside. I will get into that in a minute. How much money do you and your beautiful bride have coming in from Social Security, pension, or retirement?
Around 60,000 a year.
60 G's, so $5,000 a month. So you have money coming in. You have assets in the bank as well, or is that the only money you have?
That's the only money we have.
Okay, so now you've got $5,000. You have zero savings. You've outlived your savings, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so the only savings and the only asset that you and your beautiful bride have is the equity in your home, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so here we go, Tommy, right? You were asking me questions, Frank?
I'm writing this down.
Here's a perfect example. What's your wife's name, Jimmy?
Mary.
Mary. And how long have you and Mary been married?
It'll be it'll be 60. Almost. Let me think now. Give me a second. Here. 59 years.
God bless you.
Congratulations.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, 59 years. All right. So you and Mary have been living in that house. You set aside for retirement. You burnt through it. And the only thing you got coming in is $5,000 a month. We already established that. You have a household value of $200,000 with no mortgage. Your age, Jim, you and Mary would qualify for about 60% of the value of your home, which is $120,000 reverse mortgage. Okay? Got it?
Yes.
Okay. During the first year, Jimmy, you would be able to tap out 60% of that money, or $72,000. The reason that is the case is because after the collapse of in 07, 08, reverse mortgages and FHA were losing bucket loads of money, truckloads of money. They put a cap on the amount of money you could take out during the first year if you did not have a mortgage. So in your case, you'd qualify, ballpark numbers, Jimmy, okay? I'm just giving you ballpark, back of the napkin numbers. You and Mary would qualify for a $120,000 mortgage. Closing costs are about $10,000, $12,000. They're very expensive. I'm not going to lie to you. Hold on, Jimmy. Slow your roll. It comes out of the money you got coming out of your house. Okay? So during the first year, you would gain access net to closing costs, in this example, of about $60,000. On the 366th day, the anniversary year, you would be able to tap out the remainder of that money, which would be about $48,000. 8, 4, 6, 8, about $48,000. So you'd have access to over $100,000 worth of the equity of your home. Okay? Mm-hmm. You could use it for whatever you want to use it for. It's tax-free income.
Or not use it.
Or not use it. You could have it there as an emergency fund in case you and Mary need it for something in the future. Okay? What other questions do you have, buddy?
Okay. How does the interest payback work?
Interest payback works like this. You get a mortgage statement every month, which you have the ability to make a mortgage payment if you wanted to. The reason you're taking out a reverse mortgage is because you most likely don't want to make a mortgage payment. You want to access the equity for other things. The payment, if you elect not to make the payment, gets deferred and gets added to your principal balance. Okay, much like forbearance that we went through during the past COVID period when listeners went into forbearance. This is exactly what forbearance is. You elect to defer the payment to a future date. That is what a reverse mortgage is.
Okay. Now, you did mention something about a duration of life expectancy of 100.
Correct.
So, in other words, I would have to 100 years old to keep this loan if I needed it.
That is incorrect. They base upon, let me clarify this for you, Jimmy. They base the amount of money that you can qualify for on a reverse mortgage on a 100-year life expectancy. All right? So the closer you are to 100, so Tommy's in his 60s, he would get less money than you and Mary in your 80s. Okay?
I see.
So the older you are, the more money you get, access to the equity in your home, because according to the actuary scales, they expect you to pass away the closer you get to 100. I mean, it's simple math. We're all going to pass away eventually, right? So a 60,
yeah, eventually.
Eventually, hopefully later than sooner. But a 65-year-old is going to get less than an 80-year-old because a 80-year-olds are further down the actuary scale track of life. Okay. Now here, I'm going to answer two questions that you haven't asked yet because I'm up against a break. Sure. What happens if one of you passes away before the other one goes? That's a question you have. Would that be a good?
Yes.
Okay. If you go before Mary can live in the house until she decides to leave. If Mary passes away in the house, you could then transfer the property to whoever you want to go to. If you have kids, if you have nieces and nephews, you want to donate it to a charity. Okay? Upon the passing, if you go first, if you pass away first, Jim, and then Mary goes, and you owe 120 on the house, and the house is worth 200,000, and you have kids, do you have kids?
Yes, I do.
Okay, how many kids? 1, 2, 3?
I have 2 girls.
2 girls. If your 2 girls want to keep the house, they can keep the house. All they have to do is pay off the existing reverse mortgage, refinance that, and they can own the house. Okay? Okay, it goes with your. It could stay in the family. The debt doesn't get transferred down to your kids. Here's the other thing: if you happen to owe $200,000 and the house goes down to $120,000, they could buy the house at 95% of the current value of the house.
Oh, that's interesting.
There you go.
That's interesting.
And here's the best part about this whole thing. Before we go to the break, and I'll be more than happy to talk to you off air. There is a 5% cost, I believe it's 5% cost of living adjustment on that loan. So your loan is increasing in value by $6,000 plus a year. So your $120,000 that you qualify for would then be able to access $126,000 the second year, and it keeps going up as long as you're alive.
That is very, very interesting.
Yes. The only drawback is the cost. The investment it takes to get into the product is the only drawback. That's the only drawback.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good. I have one mistake I made when I told you. I do have a
girlfriend?
Line of credit.
Oh, you got a line of credit. Okay, thank God you don't have a girlfriend. How much you got on the line of credit?
I took out 20, and I it's for 20, but I owe 8.
Done. When you close, we pay off the 8. You pay off the closing costs. And then you'd have access to $8,000 less than what we talked about earlier.
Okay. Who can I talk to off the air about this, or in your office or whatever?
I got a guy by the name of Jose Rodriguez who knows more. He's gotten more about reverse mortgages than most people know. He will send you. I've got an FAQ, the package that he put together, and he will send it to you. I will contact you off air. We got to hit a break here. Okay, Jimmy?
Thank you very much.
And when's your wedding anniversary?
June the 4th.
Oh, mazel tov. All right. Well, send our love to Mary. Congratulations. And
thank you.
Hang tight, buddy. 312-981. How about that, Tommy? Hang on. Hold on. Your microphone.
Segment.
Right? I mean,
yeah.
that covered everything. Okay. Why do you take it out early? Because it'll grow exponentially. Here's a guy in his 80s, completely lived past his retirement savings. Right? That is what we are seeing. I saved. I don't have any more. Okay, I didn't think I was going to live this long. Remember Donna Sattler? Yeah. God bless her. Her father smoked and smoked till the day he died. Never thought he'd live as long as he lived. And the only reason I'm bringing this up, because we talked about it on air, he outlived his assets. Okay, because he never thought he was going to live that long, and he did. He lived longer than he thought. He didn't have enough assets, And that's what's happening right now. Everything's more expensive, and our experienced homeowners are looking for ways to survive. And this is the best way for Jim and Mary and everybody like Jim and Mary to survive. This is Home Sweet Home Chicago at 720 312 981-7200. This is why we come down every time, every weekend to do this show. What is real estate taxes on his home? I don't know what the real estate taxes are on his home. The thing with the reverse mortgages, you have to pay the taxes and you have to pay the insurance. Guess what? He's got a ton more money now to pay the real estate taxes. He's got a ton more money now to pay his homeowner's insurance from the 120 G's he's pulling out of his home.
If he doesn't get the reverse mortgage, he still has to pay his taxes.
Still got to pay his taxes no matter what.
Doesn't matter.
And if he doesn't have a senior freeze, he should get a senior freeze. 312-9817. Benny's like, enough already. Got to go to break. 312-981-7200. 312-981-7200. This is Home Sweet Home Chicago on 720 WGM.
Your basement is flooded, and your house is a mess. Your family's so disgusted. It's time to come to bed. Call the Fair Plumber if you need a helping hand. Call the Fair Plumber. He services all Chicagoland. Yeah. FairPlumber.com.
Are you kidding me?
What happened?
I went to open up the window, and the frame just fell apart in my hands.
Isn't that right under where the gutter was leaking?
Yeah, we might have a big problem here.
If it's been longer than 2 years since you had a termite inspection for your home, now's the time to get it scheduled. Rose Pest Solutions has been protecting health, homes, businesses, and the environment since 1860. Get Rose's family and pet-friendly Healthy Home Maintenance Plus Centricon program. You'll be safeguarded from dozens of pest threats, including termites, all year long. Satisfaction guaranteed.
If you're looking for the best possible Ford buying experience in Chicagoland, trust Joe Cotton Ford on North Avenue and Carroll Stream. At Joe Cotton Ford, we treat every customer like family. We currently have a great selection of new and used cars and trucks available in the showroom and on the lot. But please call ahead or stop by for the latest inventory. And you can always stop in and order a new car or truck with our expert guidance. Mustangs, F-150s, Transit vans, and more in the color, style, and with all the bells and whistles you want. And Joe Cotton Ford's service and parts department is second to none. We can service all Ford cars and SUVs, F-150 trucks, Super Duty trucks to 550s, and medium-duty commercial trucks up to F-750. Transit connects up to 350 as well. So for your next Ford car, SUV, truck, or commercial vehicle, see Joe Cotton Ford on North Avenue at Gary in Carroll Stream or visit joecottonford.com.
So the kids are back at school, the pool parties are over, and the last big barbecue is done. Time to give your deck a rest, right? Wrong. Now is the perfect time for a Deck Tech visit. Deck Tech cleans, seals, and protects your deck, restoring it to its natural beauty. Deck Tech has been helping Chicagoans enjoy the outdoors for over 25 years. So get the deck ready for one last run this year. For a free estimate, call 800-956-DECK, 800-956-DECK, or visit restoreyourdeck.com.
1-800-956-DECK. Call Deck Tech.
Savor the flavors of Geneva during Festival of the Vine, September 9 through 11, in a new location, now on James Street between 4th and 5th Streets. Initially a celebration of anything grown on a vine, this spectacular Autumn Harvest Festival now revolves around food, wine, beer, and live music. Saturday and Sunday offers a craft show and carriage rides. Saturday there will be kids' fun. Festival hours are Friday and Saturday, noon to 10 p.m., Sunday, noon to 5. Tickets and complete schedule at genevachamber.com.
Tonight, the action's at Soldier Field as the Fire host Inter Miami FC. The Chicago Fire play on WGN-TV. Tonight at 7. Home Sweet Home Chicago.
It's a good show.
John Landecker played that song for my intro as I was on his show this week.
Oh, look at her dropping the John Records land.
I got so many more views.
Did you know I was on John Records land? I don't know if I told you.
You know how many more people watch his show?
But when I was on with John
Wow,
Records
you guys are
Landecker,
really insecure.
Yeah, I'm starting to think you're right about that.
Oh, this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Now, here's David Hochberg and Home Sweet Home Chicago.
312-981-7200. Tommy's going to jump out in the bottom of the hour here. So you wanted to leave us with the fact that you are not open on Sundays. But you're open Monday through Saturdays.
And you know what? We see so many people, they go to the Wayfairs of the world. They go to the Amazon.
Go-to. Yeah,
the Amazons of the world. And you're buying stuff that you don't know what it is. You don't know how it's made. Come to the store and touch it, feel it. I mean, and also drive home with it if you so do choose.
And there's a certain piece in going out and actually physically touching it and talking to people that know what they're talking about versus buying it on the internet and hoping what you get is semi-decent.
I have been in. There's a warehouse in Woodridge, Illinois here, and it's a sea of Wayfair returns because of damaged goods and what have you. And people don't think about that. They go, okay, they order a vanity in and it comes in damaged. Now they got to call Wayfair. They got to get another one shipped to them. Then they got to get that one back to them. I mean,
7 of those boxes are from my house.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Because it was all broken up and it didn't fit and it was chipped and damaged and it got destroyed in shipment. They're like, all right, some of the time they're just like, don't worry about it because they don't have the truck in the area to send it back.
Do you ever see these FedEx guys and UPS guys when they're in like full swing and really busy? I mean, they're like playing football with your products.
Oh my gosh! You ever see the Samsonite Gorilla commercials? Where they're tossing the.
Yes, that's exactly what it's like.
I would tell you what's really. I stopped in the store before coming down to the studio, and they were unpacking this big behemoth 60-inch vanity with a marble top, the whole shot, and we're tearing it open and going, wow, this could be cool, putting it on display. And there's the whole top was all cracked. Oh yeah. And then there was damage in the cabinet itself.
What do you do?
Well, we go back and we'll get credit from the supplier, but that's our responsibility.
Right.
You know how many people come to our place and they open up the top of the carton, make sure that everything is okay, put it back, we tape it back up and send them on their way.
I see.
So what I'm saying is 9 times out of 10, we're going to know if there's a potential damage on it because we'll help open it up. We won't completely take it out of the package because I don't know. It's one of those things that it's very easy to unwrap and very difficult to put it back. It's impossible.
Impossible.
You got machines and everything that do this. So, I just implore people. We have a 40,000 square foot showroom, so it's it's not something that we're just in a little storefront out there, but we have.
You guarantee it.
We guarantee it.
Right. So it's not like you're worrying
and
about
we're local. So, it's not like you're going to deal with somebody, on an 800 number from a foreign country and
it's
customer
coming.
service.
It's being shipped. Yeah, we see it on the truck. Yeah, it's coming. It's in the warehouse. Well, you'll get it.
And here's where the problem is now you've received your vanity. You've called, let's just say you've called your plumber and said, hey, I got my vanity.
Yeah.
You go take it apart. Guess what? Your plumber charges you for the time that he was just there.
Sure.
$120, $150. Now you got to have all the hassle of sending it back. When you could pay the same amount of money, if not less, from us, take it with you.
Will plumbers typically come to your shop if the consumer pays them to pick it up?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, happens all the time.
Yep. So they come in, buy it, say, hey, Tommy or Sally.
Because, you got a 60-inch vanity.
Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of hard putting it into the back of a Prius.
Right.
Or it's hard to put it in the back of a car when you got somebody like Steven who's sitting in the back seat, letting David drive.
You should use local like yourself, David, like
100%.
me, because as I had a client say, I want someone close enough that if something goes wrong, I could put my hands around your throat.
I could choke you with my 2 pair of hands.
Choke the life out of you.
Around your throat.
Yeah, but you know what? And 9 times out of 10, we'll have the backup product there just in case something happened. It happened. I'm not going to say it happens all the time, but the disgust that you see with people, it happens.
Phone number, location, and website.
Okay, so it is 708-343-3900, and if everybody is familiar with Oak Brook Shopping Mall. Go 5 miles east. Don't listen to Dave when he says 5 miles west.
Because then you're
going to have to make a
10
10-mile round trip back. Or better yet, take a look at what we've got. We spent an enormous amount of time. We have a brilliant marketing director that has built our website. Go to buildersupplyoutlet.com. You will see prices, and soon you'll be able to plug in, see quantities that we have.
Nice.
Because there's a lot of times we'll get stuff in when we do special buys, and we'll have one.
Yeah. Better get on it quick.
Get on it. FOMO.
All right.
Fear
We'll
of
see you.
missing
When
out.
are you back? October 1st?
Gosh, you know what? I've got like 13 appearances
All
over
right.
the next 6 weeks. What do you
Stay
think?
tuned for Tom's next appearance. Thanks for coming down, bud. We're going to take a quick break, throw it to Ron in the newsroom. 312-981-7200. Come back with Frank and Stephen A. Leahy. 312-981-7200. That's a MegaPro's call, text, and photo line. This is Home Sweet Home Chicago on 720 WGN.
When news breaks in Chicago or the world, you'll hear it here, and we'll talk about it here. This is Chicago's very own 720 WGN, or download the WGN radio app and stream us live.
WGN Radio News is on the air. Good evening. I'm Ron Brown at 6:32. The news is sponsored by News Nation. More subpoenas have been handed out by the Department of Justice. We'll have that story coming up. First, we'll take a look at sports. A lot of college football scores to get to. Illinois is leading Virginia 24-3 in the fourth quarter. Washington State defeated Wisconsin today 17-14. The Purdue Boilermakers absolutely annihilated Indiana State 56-0, the final score. The Iowa Hawkeyes were beaten by Iowa State 10-7. Notre Dame were 20-point favorites today, but they were upset by Marshall 26-21 in South Bend. Northern Illinois is at Tulsa. That game is just beginning. Tulsa leads 7-0 in the first quarter. In baseball action, the San Francisco Giants ended a 5-game losing streak by beating the Cubs today 5-2 at Wrigley Field. The Sox are ahead of the Oakland A's out on the West Coast 10-2 in the 8th inning. The Sox now have 20 hits. In soccer, Miami is playing the Chicago Fire. That match begins in about a half hour at 7 p.m. WGN traffic. The Bishop Ford is solid because of an accident in the outbound lanes between 103rd and after Steel Bridge. DuSable Lakeshore Drive slow southbound between Fullerton and Chicago Avenue. The Eisenhower is stop and go outbound between Kedzie and First Avenue. The Justice Department is widening its investigation into former President Trump's attempts to disprove the results of the 2020 election. Former White House aide Stephen Miller is among more than a dozen Trump associates that were subpoenaed this week. The administration's final White House political director, Brian Jack, was also served. According to the New York Times, the subpoenas are seeking information about the inner workings of a political action committee created days after the election. It solicited donations to help prove the election was stolen. Queen Elizabeth II's state funeral has been set for Monday, September 19th at Westminster Abbey. Organizers say the ceremony will be a fitting farewell to one of the defining figures of our times. Full details on the 96-year-old Queen's funeral will be released at a later date. In the next few days, the Queen's body will be brought from Balmoral, first to Edinburgh and then to London, where she will lie in state. The forecast from the WGN Chicago Weather Center tonight, a 30% chance of showers. Tomorrow, a 90% chance of showers with a high of 69. And on Sunday night, a 50% chance of showers with a low of 56. It's currently 82 degrees, celebrating our 100th year serving Chicago. I'm Ron Brown on Chicago's very own 720 WGN.
The first Sunday of the NFL season is here, and DraftKings, a Casino Queen sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is giving new customers a can't-miss offer. New customers can bet just $5 and get $200 in free bets instantly. Plus, everyone can experience the thrill of DraftKings early win promotion. It's simple. Bet on an NFL team to win. If your team leads by 10 at any point during the game, you get paid instantly, even if your team loses. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code WGN to get $200 in free bets instantly when you place a $5 bet this Sunday. That's code WGN, only at DraftKings at Casino Queen Sportsbook.
If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-426-2537. 21 and older. Illinois only. Bonus issued as free bets. One early win token issued at opt-in. Moneyline bets only. Deposit and wagering restrictions apply. Eligibility and terms at DraftKings.com/football terms.
One 877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. You'll get a maximum tax deduction and a vacation voucher.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala, nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ishnala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I have been a part of Ishnala for 30 years, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ishnala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ishnala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ishnala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
Beginning in 1930, it's the world's longest-running Christian outreach radio program, and it's right here on WGN, the Lutheran Hour, Sunday morning at 6.
The Travel Detective.
Every place has its local secrets, like that deep dish pizza place that tourists never make it to. But you do. I'm Peter Greenberg, and I've got the local secrets for cities all around the world. Learn them with me, The Travel Detective.
Sponsored by Kelly Cruises and Tours. Coming up next at 7 on WGN. Now back to Home Sweet Home Chicago.
312-981-7200, 312-981-7200. You work with a lot of experienced homeowners, Frank.
Yes, I do.
And you were mentioning that you were sitting there just fascinated about how the reverse mortgage worked, because you really didn't know the components and all that stuff. And you had some questions that you thought would be beneficial for the listeners to hear. So fire away.
Not so much questions, David. Is a lot of the families that I run across, when we're talking about mom and aging and getting towards the end and stuff like that, they're going to be moving mom into the nursing home. A lot of things that, especially if nursing care is being taken care of by Medicaid, they swallow your assets.
Yep.
So if a reverse mortgage works for you, which, I'm not a financial guy, so, but if it works for you and you can get it out sooner and use it to
in-home healthcare,
in-home healthcare, or taking care, or maybe even taking a trip before your health deteriorates,
or make the home more readily accessible for you to enjoy it more,
to stay there. There's a lot of different things that it could be used for to your benefit before it becomes state money.
Sure. So the money comes out tax-free. Again, the only drawback with the reverse mortgage, and I'm honest about it, is the initial investment to get in it. It costs, the initial investment is 5 to 6 times greater than a normal refinance.
But at the same point, the people don't have to pay back the mortgage until they pass, which could be 20 years down the road.
They pass or move. You still own the home, right? What Jimmy needed to understand was, and Tommy asked the same question during the break coming into that call, was you still own the home. The owner of the home still owns the home. The bank doesn't own the home. The government doesn't own the home. I don't know where that whole thing came from, where it originated from, or how it got so blown out of proportion. If you own a home, you don't have a mortgage on your home. Steve's got a mortgage on his home, and he's a lot older than you. Just look at him. So Steve lives in pick a number, $500,000 home. He's got a $200,000 mortgage, right? So technically, ABC Bank is Steve's mortgage company. I just made that up. Okay, it's true. So so Steve and Teresa own in this example a $500,000 home. They mortgage $200,000 with the ABC fictitious bank. Right? They own the home. Yes, ABC Bank technically, I guess, owns the home until you pay them off.
No, they don't. But you have a lien, right?
You have a lien.
So they just have a right to a certain amount
You're
of
on
the
the
property
deed.
value.
There are states where they hold the deed. The mortgage company holds the deed.
Right.
But not here in Illinois.
So Steve and Teresa's beautiful smoke show wife own the home. if Steve takes and Teresa take out a reverse mortgage and pay off ABC Mortgage Company in this example, and XYZ Reverse Mortgage Company goes on, replaces ABC Mortgage Company, Steve and Teresa still own the home. It's no different. Everybody thinks, some entity's going to come in and own the home. The government doesn't want your home. They've got enough problems going on. Okay?
Yeah. Say that again.
Okay, XYZ Mortgage Company is using your home as an investment like ABC did. The only difference is that XYZ is going to be in it for the long haul, and they're going to accrue the interest. That's why they got into it. That's why they made the investment, because somewhere down the line, Steve and Teresa are either going to pass away or move out of that home, and then they get paid off at that time. If in the event Steve's home is worth $400,000 or $300,000 and they owe $350,000, guess what? There's insurance on it. It's an FHA loan. FHA would then kick into the servicer. The servicer would file an insurance claim with FHA to make up the difference. It doesn't go to Steve's 2 kids, okay, who will have so much money they won't know what to do with. But that's a whole nother story because they'll be a lot more successful than their father.
Well, let's hope so.
Well, that goes without saying. But that's how it works, right? Very smart kids. They thank God he married smart, because they don't take after him. They take after the mother. But in that case, these are great products when used effectively in the right situation, when administered by the right loan officer who knows what they're doing. You could call a hot shop, a 800 number, and get a hot shop call center, right? Which you're going to go into. You're not going to be talking to Tom Selleck, all right? Very handsome guy walking down some fictitious street in some backlot of some film studio, TV studio, reading off a teleprompter. Okay, I know more about reverse mortgage. I forgot more about reverse mortgage than Tom Selleck will ever know. Okay, he's getting paid handsomely. He's a very handsome man talking about a product. All he knows about is what he's reading off the teleprompter, right? He couldn't have gone over what I just went over with Jim and Mary. And what to happen? It's a great product when used effectively in the right situation. And the earlier you take it out, the better, because it grows exponentially. And if you take it out when you're 62 and you don't have a mortgage, then guess what? By the time you're 80, where Jim is, it would be almost worth double. Okay, so you'd have access to twice as much just because of the cost of living growth component built in.
And you don't have to take it out.
And you do not have to take it out if you don't want it. It's there. And when you do take it out, it's tax-free. It's your money. Tax-free. Repeat after me. Tax-free.
Can you say that one more time?
Tax-free. 312-981-7200. 312-981-7200. That's a MegaPro's call, text, and photo line. Steve, we got a text message here. Got to catch my breath. I want you to answer this coming back after the break. 219, I have a tax question. You help individuals listeners that live in Indiana. Yes. That's 219. What are the ramifications of using Venmo extensively for your rent and other payments? So we have online payment question coming into play, which is a great question. This is Home Sweet Home Chicago on 720 WGN. The MegaPro's call, text, and photo line is open. It's the same number. I guess they are open, which is the same as it is or are. Are
there more than one?
Well, yeah. Text, yeah, smart guy. Yeah, text, photo, and call line. It's the same number. So they are open. 312-981-7200. 312-981-7200. This is Home Sweet Home Chicago on 720 WGN.
WGN. Let me ask you a question. Have you heard of Capital Electric? They have a quiet, cool fan system that will naturally cool your home and make your upstairs bedrooms nice and comfortable. And even better, it's going to reduce your AC cost by 50 to 90% each month. This revolutionary system uses cool evening air to push the heat right out of your house. Call Capital Electric right now, 630-833-2389, or visit capitalelectric.com. That's capital with a K, capitalelectric.com.
Antenna TV is TV how it was meant to be.
Hey, come on in, make yourself at home.
Where phone calls are never sent to voicemail.
Tell her it's George Burns.
Okay, I can't wait to see you.
It's where friends are family, and family is everything.
I love you, Mama.
Thank you, sweetheart.
You do love me. I don't just love you, Weezy, I'm crazy about you.
I love you. And you.
I love you, Jack.
Antenna TV. TV how it was meant to be.
Now that's what I call magic.
It was wonderful. And that's why I kept singing their praises and wrote the letters and things like that, because They were always on time. They sent knowledgeable people. I'm talking about the people that I made the arrangements with and came out and gave me estimate. And then when the actual workers came, they were so polite. They made eye contact, which so many people don't anymore, and explained every step of the way. I just was thrilled with the work.
We are talking today with mega customer Caroline Carter of Lake Forest.
I actually just take it so for granted now. It just all works so well and it looks so nice. And again, I had nothing but positive things to say about each person I worked with and the quality of the work. It was wonderful.
One mega call does it all.
847-658-8989. 847-658-8989.
Megapros.com.
One mega call does it all.
If you are renovating your kitchen or bathroom, call the refinishing experts at Miracle Method to learn about refinishing instead of replacing. Miracle Method will refinish your existing cabinets, countertops, bathtubs, showers, floors, and tile, making them look and feel brand new. Save 50 to 75% over the cost of replacement, and most projects are completed in less than 2 days. I've seen the finished product, and it's amazing. For more information about refinishing instead of replacing, call 630-832-2250 or visit miraclemethod.com/Chicago.
With every, and every. Chicago is built, served, and improved. These are the sounds of union labor working hard for this great city. And United Healthcare offers health plans that work hard for union members and their families, with cost-saving opportunities, a variety of programs backed by a robust provider network, even a custom branded app. Quality health coverage built by you and working for you. Learn more at uhc.com/mychicago. That's uhc.com/mychicago.
Home Sweet Home Chicago.
Rich Wasilewski. Josh at BMO Farah. Pete, there I go. Pete,
I'll just pencil it in first.
It's because of you. The first time Frank was on, he sat next to Rich Dykstra, and I looked right at Frank, and I just kept going.
You've actually done that a couple times when I've said
He looks like a Rich.
I know.
Now, here's David Hochberg and Home Sweet Home Chicago.
312-981-7200. That is the Megapros call, text, and photo line. 480. Can you do a reverse mortgage if the property condo is in a trust? Yes, depending upon what type of trust it is. So
it depends.
It depends. Definite maybe.
There we go. You got it out.
Got it out. That's number 3.
Feel
nice
better
job.
now? We can end the show on that.
I do feel better.
I'm going to be hearing about it all day for an hour and a half. What are the ramifications of using Venmo or other online? I'll expand it. Or other online like Zelle and whatever else is out there extensively for your rent and other payments. Are there any drawbacks?
Payments? No. Because the payments, the 1099, what they're talking about, the change of the cash apps, have to do with receipts, not payments. So if I'm paying somebody, then the person that's getting it is going to get the 1099K. But the person sending it is not going to.
Frank?
So I'm not familiar with, any of that type of apps. I still use the old-fashioned bank system. But do they have good record keeping on there for, we talked about having tax records and stuff like that.
Everything electronic, right? They got a record. They,
it's really convenient.
You have PayPal.
Okay.
Yeah, everything's listed there. So, but again, if I'm paying someone, that's not what the IRS is looking for. They're looking for the people who are getting the money.
Right.
And so, for instance, in eBay just this last week, announced that if you received more than $600 in your eBay account, they will freeze it until they get your Social Security number, because they are required by law to send you a 1099K if there's more than $600 of activity, not $600 in profits, not $600. So if I do two for $700 and I return one, it's got $1,400. I'm going to get a 1099K. I might not have to pay taxes on all of that, but I have to report it.
All right. 312-981-7200. We have a divorce question. Divorces have spiked due to COVID. Divorces have spiked due to the inflation. What's the number one stressor on a marriage other than your spouse being just a jerk?
Money,
and infidelity. And with the inflation that's happening, it's put a lot more stress on marriage. It's not saying that. Our caller here, Ruth. How are you, Ruth? You have a question about divorce.
Thank you. I hope I don't run out of energy on my phone, so I'm going to go as quickly as I can. I went through a divorce and owned a home with my marriage partner, and the house was valued at about $150,000. because I was a stay-at-home mom and his income was much more applicable
Sure.
For the lifestyle, I decided not to take any alimony, but other things that I did have in the divorce decree I'm not going to get to. But what happened is he forged my signature, and he took out loans on the house up to $90,000. And he got away with this, but what my question is how is a divorce decree that says the house should be the value, of certain percentage for the years that we were married would be given to me, and then he would have gotten a higher percentage because he had stayed in the house longer. How is it that the court system did not monitor this and he got away with it?
Steve?
I don't understand the question because you're saying that he got away with it. This was after your divorce that he forged your name?
Yeah, and he started taking out loans. He took out 3 loans and forging my signature each time. So when my youngest child turned 18, the house had been foreclosed on. There was no money to come back to me.
Okay, so
you just know a lot about mortgages and things, and I know this is a legal question.
Well, I'm an attorney.
Well, Steve's here. I'm not touching this one. Go ahead,
Okay,
Steve.
so I'm an attorney, but I could tell you this. If he forged your name and that wasn't your loan, was he on the title to the mortgage? I mean, to the home?
Yes, he was.
He was on the title, and you were on the title.
Of course, but that's correct.
And so then he forged your name. Well, that's a
fraud.
crime.
Yeah, that's crime.
And if they tried to foreclose on me, I could. Now, if he was on it, there was a mortgage and no one was paying it. It gets a little bit hairy. But the defense would be, I don't owe you that money because I never signed for that loan. Now, again, I'm not giving legal advice. That's kind of the way it works. Right?
Real quick, Ruth, because we only got like 2 minutes left before the end of the show, and I want to try to help you out as best I can. Did he take the loans out while you were married or no?
After we were divorced.
Okay, who got the house? Did he get the house or did you have the house?
He got the house because I did not want to finish up on the mortgage payments. His income was, I was a stay-at-home mom. I didn't have any income.
I got, and I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm up against the clock here. So you got divorced. He kept the house, correct?
Correct, until my youngest would be 18.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But he owned the house. Was there anything in the divorce decree that he couldn't refinance the house after the divorce?
No, there was nothing in it for him to refinance.
Okay. No. What, he owned the house after the divorce. Did you get any money out after the divorce? Some type of settlement?
Before it, no settlement, no alimony, nothing.
Okay. So after you got divorced, he took over the house. In the divorce decree says the house was your ex-husband's, correct?
Correct. And I did not even find out until like several years later that he had forged my signature.
Again, I'm not trying to cut you off here, but you were legally divorced. Were you on? So you should have been taken off the deed of the home when you got divorced, correct or no?
No, I did not get taken off the deed.
Okay, so then that's you got a major mess on your hands, and this is more of a Dave Schluter because he's a real estate attorney question, right? I would think.
Well,
Steve?
it is, but it's more of a divorce. But again, this is fraud, and so if they're coming after you for the deficiency and there was a judgment against you, then you have a defense. The defense is forgery. I never signed that. Right. I don't owe you any money. Right. If that's what you're asking.
And you also have a notary claim as well because some notary had to notarize
forge your name.
Had to forge your name. So you got to. So was there a divorce decree? A divorce attorney? I'm sorry, a divorce. I'm up against the clock trying to get all this. Is there a divorce attorney involved here, Ruth?
Yeah, and you know what? Tom, I can't think of his last name, but
I don't want his last name.
He's been gone for a long time. Nobody knows where he is.
Okay, so you need a real estate attorney. I'm gonna connect you with Dave Schluter. See what he has to say because that's what he does, and we'll try to help you out any way we can. Okay.
And thank you, and God bless your family.
God bless you as well. Thank you very much. Say goodbye, Stephen A. Leahy.
Goodbye, Stephen A. Leahy.
Phone number and
312-664-6649. This woman could call me too. I can answer some of those questions.
That's fine.
312-664-6649.
Frank, I'm sorry. Oh, fight back now.
I wanted to mention that I'm going to be on John Hansen's show tomorrow.
Going to be on John
2 o'clock.
At 2 o'clock.
Tune in, listen.
Let's get legal.
He's going to be on John Hansen's show tomorrow. Frank, we love John Hansen.
Yes, we do.
Frank, say goodbye, buddy.
Yeah, goodbye.
No. If our listeners want to reach you, how they
630-616-6249 or allaboutaccess.com. And if you know a veteran, get them to liftingahero.com.
Liftingahero.com. Jack, Brendan, and Benny, thanks for the great job. 312, I could be reached during the week. 855-56-DAVID. Go to 56david.com. This show is here to help our listeners understand the complexities of owning a home and everything that's got to do with it. I think we did a pretty good job today with that. So thanks for listening. Go Bears. Don't forget about everybody that lost their lives on 9/11. Say a prayer tomorrow for all of our brothers and sisters that died on 9/11. 312, no,